One team that is in this year's playoff arrived in New Orleans yesterday. That is Washington and Kalen DeBoer. And New Orleans can be an enticing place. Washington understands that, hey, a bowl trip, a playoff trip, they've been there before. It didn't go well when they played Alabama in Atlanta. Here's Kalen DeBoer about this group.
That's really, kind of the balance that I think our team has. We have this mature group of guys that has these lofty goals that weren't just set here those last couple of weeks, but all season long. And we've been able to balance having fun, enjoying being around each other all season long, just with the work that it takes to prepare to be great on Saturdays or on game day. And, I'm really proud of these guys for that, because they know that, hey, this is the time to work and this is the time to have fun. And so, I'd expect that business trip, that workman-like mentality to continue here on this trip here down in New Orleans.
You know what? Maybe the best decision that was made for this Washington team almost came 11 months ago to the day. Do you guys remember this storyline at all? Who was in Tuscaloosa on January 28th?
Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator. Yeah, and it looked like it was his job in Tuscaloosa.
You don't fly him to Tuscaloosa to just show him the campus.
Well, I think it was a difficult decision for Ryan Grubb, too, but I think his familiarity, the comfortable bond these two have.
8 years together.
Interesting.
At a lot of low places. What was it, Eastern Michigan, Fresno, and Washington?
And I'll tell you what's interesting is that this job cycle passed without Ryan Grubb getting, to my knowledge, any good looks anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you think he's a pretty hot commodity?
Oh, yeah.
To be a head coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think Washington wins this game.
Yeah, you've been teetering on making this a solid prediction.
Yep.
So you're down now that Washington beats Texas.
Yep.
That is good. It's going to shock a lot of people.
One reason Ryan Grubb went back is Michael Penix Jr. was coming back. Here is Kalen DeBoer on Michael Penix Jr.
What has Michael Penix meant to your team this season?
Well, yeah, he came in 2 years ago, and I mean, there was expectations from my end. I knew what we had, and I knew we had a really good quarterback that if he was in charge, we were going to be able to have one of the better ones in the country. And I think as time gone on, he's just really pushed himself to new levels. He does it on the field with his production. He's a relentless worker. He's really pushed hard to help himself be his best. And his leadership, I think, is probably one of the biggest areas where we've seen, as a team, him just really step out in front and not be afraid to put the team on his shoulders.
Yeah, Michael Penix Jr. has been worth the transfer from Indiana. I never thought he would do it, and I definitely didn't think he'd do it back-to-back years.
Yeah, I thought the outlier was the year he had in 19, I think it was 19 for Indiana. Played really well, and then he battled some injuries and was very inconsistent, and he's been nothing but consistent the last couple of years.
Yeah, can they protect him long enough to throw the ball down the field 20-plus yards?
Well, he's only taken 11 sacks all year. So he's a guy that, believe it or not, based on the deep ball he throws, he can scramble just enough, and he's got a quick release.
Again, I don't want to wish away the semifinals, but if you're correct and I'm correct, Washington plays Alabama. And you've got two All-American corners on that Alabama team. To see them go against Roma Dunze, who I know all the pub goes to Marvin Harrison.
Polk. I mean, they've got three legitimate receivers.
I know all the pub goes to Marvin Harrison. I think you feel like Dunze is the best receiver in the country, don't you?
I don't know about that. I think Harris is probably a little bit better, but I think based on numbers, I think he's right there, and I think the collection of three receivers, they've got as good as anybody.
How quickly can you show me the total for mybookie.ag in that game, by the way? Bruce Feldman projects the final score, Washington 44, Texas 42.
That would be an over.
Yeah.
63.5 is the total right now.
He thinks it's going to be a shootout.
44.5, the Bama-Michigan total.
Bruce Feldman of The Athletic, who likes Washington, Michigan in the championship game. Feldman there from The Athletic. You can read all of his stuff there. We'll do another show tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. It's our getaway day tomorrow. We're here tomorrow and then in Vegas the next day. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Little T's in Nashville covering Auburn. We're leaving after the show to head out west to cover Alabama. It's that time of year. And here's something we don't say very often. We usually say it about one school. We don't say it about this school a lot. But dare I say it?
In Fuego.
USC is back, baby. They're back.
Wow.
They're back.
This shows you how unpredictable the bowls are. So it seemed like everyone opted out for USC, and Louisville had something to play for in this game, and USC goes out, and Miller Moss goes for a holiday record 6 touchdown passes, which I would have thought there was probably more in holiday bowls. I just remember those being absolute shootouts. It seemed like BYU was in those games every other year.
They were talking about one more. It was a record, an NCAA football record.
Yeah, I'll say this. Louisville is a Fugazi. I said it all year long. They got to where they were because of schedule. They lost 3 consecutive games against average teams to end the season. Jack Plummer is an awful quarterback. Is that fair?
Yeah,
I would agree.
I mean, Miller Moss by far outplayed him. And what happened here is we all were talking about Lincoln Riley. He's tapped out, NIL. Everybody was on the same page, including me. Lincoln Riley might be, tapping out and going to the NFL. This team's not going to be motivated. Nobody's playing. And they were motivated. And when you get that kind of effort, which they gave it, and Miller Moss was fantastic outside of the one almost pick 6 early in the second half. I mean, he was really, really good.
6 touchdowns from USC, and they win the game last night over Louisville. And listen, there's going to be a storyline about how bad maybe the SEC ends up doing these bowl games. So I don't want to jump in what you guys are saying already. Lunsford, Louisville was literally so bad they got an undefeated Florida State team booted from the playoff. I understand they did.
That is true.
That was
right.
a meaningful game in the ACC championship with no opt-outs, and that happened. But when we get to these bowl games, you don't know what's going to happen. We'll talk Texas A&M in a second. This USC team, I thought Klatt said it best. It was he said it at the end of the broadcast again last night too. It's a one-off for this team. USC's already got 8 portal commitments coming in. Lincoln Riley, after the game, would not even tell you that Miller Moss right now is QB1 for the team. He refused to answer that question.
I know, and I was going to ask Lance if he thought Miller Moss would be your starter next year in Big Ten play.
I mean, after watching last night, here's all I can formulate.
Okay.
That Lincoln Riley told Malachi Nelson, you're just not getting the offense. We're off somewhere. And you're really going to have to battle this kid to become our starting quarterback. And Malachi Nelson, the number 1 overall quarterback in the 2022 class, he wasn't buying in. And Lincoln Riley, say what you want about the end results. Quarterback play under Lincoln Riley is airtight.
It is, very, very.
And so if Lincoln Riley believes in this guy and this guy can perform like he did last night, God bless him, man. I mean, I was blown away. I had no expectation for Miller Moss at all.
Like the worst quarterback play Lincoln Riley's ever had as a head coach was the year Spencer Rattler and who went back and forth?
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, that's right.
Yeah.
Who ended up, by the way, winning the Heisman under Lincoln Riley. That was the worst it ever got, right? Was when it was Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler.
That's exactly right.
And you're talking now about Spencer Rattler, who's really good at South Carolina, and Caleb Williams, who won the Heisman and maybe the overall number 1 pick.
You say that, and I think Spencer Rattler's got a lot of talent, but you guys will give me his career was uneven, and that's the way he played at Oklahoma.
Oh, his best career was at South Carolina.
Yeah, and I think what happened there was you wanted to start a more experienced guy like Rattler, but he was so uneven, you wanted to bring in a true freshman like Caleb Williams, and they never really could find consistency.
Correct me if I'm wrong. As of right now, there's a second transfer portal window, but as of right now, there's nobody in the portal that would upgrade USC.
Well, if Will Howard comes in, and that's the thought process.
So you would like him more than Miller Moss at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's just more proven. I mean, that was a one-game situation against a shitty Louisville team.
That's where you're supposed to go. Will Howard's projected to go to USC.
That's the word.
And he is a poor man's Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Plays a similar game.
That
but
was 3 pours. I counted 3 right there.
But there's also Cam Ward.
Sir, can I get a Caleb Williams?
You don't want that Caleb Williams.
Mister, will you please give me a completion?
We're just trying to eat this bowl season.
So I was talking to a Georgia fan last night. And by the way, there is a belief that Cam Ward, who was out there, is kind of studying the bowls to figure out the best situation for him.
Stupid.
Like
That is dumb right there. If that's
It
true.
probably is, but I mean, there's no explanation for arguably the best quarterback in the portal hasn't made a decision yet. So, he's watching USC and he's like, damn, that kid's pretty good. You know what? I'm not going to roll the dice and go there. If I'm Cam Ward, I'm going to Louisville, by the way.
I'm not going to Louisville.
Yeah, Jack Plummer, absolutely awful. Anyway, I was talking to a Georgia fan last night, and he was talking about some of the numbers these guys are getting, and you guys have heard for Carson Beck to come back. It's millions of dollars. But Vandergrift going to Kentucky, I think the number was $700,000.
Can I get a quarterback? 700,000 is like throwing change in my cup here. That's nothing.
Ray Oley to leave Georgia and go to Nebraska was over $1 million.
Matt Rule said it was going to be between $1 million and $2 million, so I'll take that at face value.
Well, I mean, what would you think Miller Moss is worth right now? Like, okay,
Boy, I mean, this. You know what this feels like?
Flynn?
Uh-huh.
Matt Flynn?
Yeah, when either that or when the Patriots fleeced the Chiefs on Matt Castle.
Yeah.
Either one of those two.
But at least Castle had a full body of
you're
work,
right. Matt
11
Flynn
and
had
5.
one Sunday night game, right?
It was 2 games.
Yeah, but the big one was in the Sunday night at the end of the year.
Lit him up,
Yep.
and then he gets a huge deal with Seattle and never does anything. But if I'm Miller Moss, I've got options now, and I've got some leverage. And a one-game situation at some of these bowls can make these kids a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. It can. Miller Moss is a name everyone's talking about today after that game. The big storyline is the SEC is now 0-1.
Oh.
I've seen people saying this is from Reddit College Football Today, a very popular post on the X. The SEC now 0-1 this bowl season. And on the year, 7-10 versus Power 5 teams if you go back to the regular season.
You're never going to hear Ryan Brown. I'm going to talk about myself in third person for benefit of video here. That little team I
Just do it all day, please.
all day long.
Yeah,
Ryan Brown.
Because you know what could come back.
Yeah.
I got a black wife beater and some peroxide in there.
You want
I
McAfee
can
to come back?
can bring your boy back.
Dudway stands anyway. Oh, you're sitting
right
today.
now,
Congrats.
starting off.
You'll never hear me make any sort of declarations on who is a better conference over another based on bowl games. Period. End of sentence. Outside of the playoff, and I mean the 2 playoff games, not the New Year's 6, the 2 playoff games. You're never going to hear me say, "Ooh, SEC 7-2, flexing their muscle." Doesn't matter. SEC 2-7 doesn't matter. I'm never going to say Big Ten, SEC, ACC. They don't belong based on bowl results. And that's more true now than it's ever been.
Oh, yeah, because, for instance, Texas A&M last night playing a down-the-line quarterback.
The fourth teamer, Jim.
Yeah, Jalen Henderson goes out and gets hurt on the first play. The first play. And then they go to Marcel Reed, which sounds like an old bit from Jerry Clower. Marcel, are you up in that tree?
You gonna play quarterback for us,
I ended
Marcel?
up staying up for every minute of that game because we had the under, and it came down to a shanked field goal.
God bless you.
But, yeah, I know, pretty bad because it was like 11-15 last night. But Marcel Reed, I thought he showed – I mean, the guy is an athlete. He can fly when he gets on the outside. They were talking to Gundy in game. He's like, we got to contain this kid. He throws a really flat ball, but it pops out of his hand. I mean, this guy, to me, he's got some upside.
Yeah, he is a flat baller, no doubt. But he is a guy that that came in and gave Texas A&M a shot in the end, but they got so far behind in the first half. And that's the loss. They had so many opt-outs. I think they were 22 short of guys that were on their depth chart throughout the year. They only had 3 scholarship wide receivers. So to Brown's point, if you want to judge the SEC on these matchups, then go ahead. You be that guy.
Or
if you
any
want to
conference,
judge
Jim.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
Big
they
10,
pulled
Big 12,
the
any
coach
conference.
out of the stands, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Who was the interim coach?
Elijah, somebody.
I mean, A&M doesn't have their head coach. They don't have their offensive coordinator. They don't have 3 of their quarterbacks. And I'd say the same thing if this was Oklahoma State, if Mike Gundy had retired and taken another job. That's why you can't make – and the other thing on this, we love to do this. Oh, look at the SEC, look at the Big Ten. You don't always have – like level matchups.
Oh no, Brown. You got 8-4 Clemson versus 7-5 Kentucky. Obviously, more talented team is Clemson in that situation. On the SEC side, 10-3 LSU versus 7-5 Wisconsin.
That's right.
That's not a fair matchup.
No, huge. Now LSU's they're not going to have their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback.
Yeah, I think we know that these things are so unpredictable. So many guys don't care. But I'll say if A&M would have played 2 more quarters, I think they win the game.
Yeah,
Well, they may have,
I really do.
Marcel was getting comfortable.
Yeah, they were settling in a little bit.
He's like, let me sit here a while.
I think they were
good.
completely baffled offensively in the first half. They made the adjustments, and they came out, and they outscored Oklahoma State 17-7 in the second half.
I mean, again, Dunaway, that game featured Oklahoma State. Where was Oklahoma State's last game before that?
Bedlam.
Nope. The Big 12 championship.
Oh, that's right.
Guys, they were in the Big 12 championship.
Yep.
Playing
Against
Texas A&M, who is so bad they fired their coach.
They didn't just fire him, Brown. They paid him $76 million.
Well, speaking of Oklahoma State,
that's why we don't make these comparisons. That is not even the right matchup. I mean, that's the number 2 team in the Big 12 versus A&M is what in the SEC? 8th, 9th?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to make judgments on
can
this.
I drop a hot take at 9-11
man.
a.m. on a Thursday?
And can this be a mybookie.ag hot take?
Let's do a mybookie.ag
Okay.
hot take.
You
And
want
this
me
could
to-
lead to a poll question.
Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. What are we doing here?
We'll have to wake up, little T. Wake up,
Well,
Nashville.
this goes back to an argument. I'll listen for the intro
Okay.
there. Ooh, hot take.
Way to go, Ty.
So I remember back, I think it was late summer, early fall,
Yeah.
when Brown was arguing that Mike Gundy hadn't done a good job at Oklahoma State. And I would just ask you this simple question now. Can you make the argument?
I don't think that was the argument, to be fair. Hang on real quick before you get into the hot take.
Let's start over. I think
Yeah.
I may have been the guy that said this. You think it was Brown?
He was like, Oklahoma State stuck in mud. I can almost remember the conversation.
Yeah, but I think you've
And
misrepresented.
you were like, he is
Hang
an
on.
8-win coach.
Hang
He's
on.
an 8-win coach.
I think you misrepresented me saying he hasn't done a good job. I think what the discussion was is this program stuck in mud or is it a legit, close to elite program? I said it was stuck in mud. Obviously, he had a good year this year. Go ahead.
Can you make the argument that Mike Gundy in Stillwater has done as good of a job as Pat Dye did at Auburn?
Bullshit.
Okay.
Okay, I think Jim is a no.
Okay.
4 SEC championships in a decade.
Yeah, but 3 of those years the SEC sucked.
Wow. Wow.
People
They
always
did.
say the SEC sucks when Alabama or another name brand is not on top.
I mean, Tennessee was pretty good in the late 80s, but Alabama wasn't.
ACC basketball sucks when it's not Duke or North Carolina.
I kind of agree on that.
Big 12 basketball sucks when it's not Texas and
Lance,
Oklahoma.
the thing that
football.
the thing that would stop me from saying that is he's only won the one conference championship.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily just out of hand disagree with
no,
you.
I here's what I would say though. So it's close when you look at the numbers. I mean, Mike Gundy, 8 double-digit win seasons.
Well,
Pat Dye only had 5.
Pat was only Gundy's coached for 18 years
Yeah,
in one place. Pat Dye coached what, at
12? Yeah.
But okay, 6 extra years in the Big 12.
The percentage of 10 wins is better for Mike Gundy.
Okay, so how long
than
did
Pat
Dye-
Dye?
Let me
And guess
just-
what?
listen, I'm not here to
Mike Gundy. I know you got a lot of Auburn fans out there.
No.
But Mike Gundy was closer than Pat Dye ever was to playing for a national championship.
Pat Dye won the national championship in
He did
1983. They should have been national
Let's
champs.
check the records.
Well,
I think
New
it
York
was,
Times named them.
They should have been
yeah,
national
Yeah, but
you've
I
got one
think
you can
Miami
claim.
won the national championship on the field.
They got jumped, not on the field. They got jumped in the polls.
They beat number 1.
Yeah.
They did.
They did. They won the national
They only beat
championship.
number 1 because Nebraska went for 2 instead of kicking a game-tying
Well, that was
extra
good.
point.
I like that
Nebraska
call.
would have won it.
I like
And
that
anyway, I'm not saying that Gundy has done a better job. I'm saying, can you make the argument?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's where I would. Here's 2 things against Mike Gundy in this argument, and I don't necessarily disagree with you overall, but here's 2 things I would argue against. Number 1, he's only got the one conference championship. Pat Dye won 4, to Jim's point. Number 2, beyond the 4 conference championships, and these things go hand in hand, probably the most important thing Pat Dye did was take a badly one-sided at the time rivalry and completely flip it against one of the top 3 greatest programs in college football history.
I agree with that.
Okay, and Mike Gundy did not come anywhere close to doing that.
He could not beat his rival.
That's right. So that, to me, those are 2 arguments I would
But
make
you guys
against
won't
Mike
give me
Gundy.
Auburn is a much better program than Oklahoma State.
Historically, it has been, yes.
Not when Dye took over, but yes.
Ooh, I don't know that I would even say
Coming
that.
out of the 70s? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Mike Oak State's had some
But
bad
Oklahoma State
runs,
has
buddy.
never done
Yeah,
it.
they've had some bad runs.
1983 schedule, okay? Their only loss is to number 3 Texas. After that, they go on the road to beat Tennessee. They beat Florida State. They beat Kentucky, Georgia Tech on the road, Mississippi State, and then this is how they end the year. They beat number 5 Florida, number 7 Maryland. They win at number 4 Georgia. They beat number 19 Alabama, neutral site, and then they go on the road to beat Michigan in the Sugar Bowl, New Orleans to beat Michigan in the Sugar Bowl. That's Pat Dye's schedule every year back in the 80s.
It was a different world then, man. Different world.
He played. His schedules were they were too hard. They were too hard. Number 8 Nebraska out of the league there.
Again, I'm just throwing it out there. Can you make the argument? I mean, to me, Mike Gundy has done just an incredible job with a shitty program.
I kind of agree with you. So let's go good coach, bad program. Would you go Frank Beamer or Mike Gundy?
I would go Frank Beamer.
I would too. And Bobby Bowden's not.
But I mean,
Frank
Beamer is not. I mean, we don't even have the discussion with Bill Snyder. Frank Beamer greater than.
Okay, so my next one was going to be Bill Snyder.
I don't know why you're doing a drive-by on Pat Dye. What Pat Dye did was amazing.
I can see it's a hot button for you.
Not even here to defend himself.
We'll continue on a little bit. All I did was ask the question.
Yeah,
I was just thinking about bad job to good job, and I think Mike Gundy doesn't get the credit because he looks like a joker out there with the tan and the mullet.
No, he does look like a joker. I agree.
I mean, numbers can be deceiving. Like he's had 8 10-win seasons in 18 years. Oh, okay, they play 12 and 13 and 14 games now. A 10-win season, Gus Malzahn was racking up 10-win seasons while still losing 4 games.
But Mike Gundy, when he won his championship, it was outright. Pat Dye was having like 3-way, 4-way ties.
How many of those
he was winning SEC championships with 2 ties.
Well, one play, would Pat Dye have won those championships had it been an SEC championship?
Could have.
I don't know.
I don't know. Have an SEC championship.
I don't know. You know what though? Mike Gundy would have won multiple Big 12 championships if he didn't have to play in the game.
If he didn't have to play in the game.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we don't know. Pat Dye might not have won those championships if they would have played in the game. I'm just saying that I think you can make an argument. Mike Gundy has done as good of a job in Stillwater.
I don't think you can, but I can. I will let you have your opinion.
I will say this: the '88 SEC championship, Auburn lost 1 conference game to LSU and finished tied with LSU.
Okay, that's
so I would go LSU in that. I would say Lance has an argument in that one, right? The '89 SEC championship was a 3-way tie. Your problem was going to be. It was a round robin. That's Alabama beat Tennessee, Tennessee beat Auburn, and Auburn beat Alabama. So that one, I don't know how you break that one down, right? But 87, Auburn was undefeated in conference with a tie to Tennessee, but Tennessee also had a loss. And then 83, Auburn was undefeated in the conference, and nobody else was. So really, I mean, your argument comes down to that 89 one, how you view that one. I mean, that was the system we had back then. Yeah. We didn't have a conference championship game, so I don't know. Like, I don't even know of those 3 teams, Alabama, Tennessee, and Auburn, who would have played in a conference championship in '89. I don't know how you'd have broken that tie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not going to break the tie. There are going to be people that tell me that Alabama's not the 1973 national champions, but they are. One poll gave them a championship at the end of the regular season. That's how they did it back then. And then they lost.
Just say,
all I know is he played for 4 Big 12 championships. He won 1. But if he didn't have to play for 4, would they have all been 4 championships? I don't know how it broke down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I did not come prered for this discussion.
I'm going to go college football playoff committee here, and I'm going to go eye test. Pat Dye was a greater coach than Mike Gundy. I will sit comfortably on that hill.
I will say this, too. Pat Dye had a lot more talent.
There's zero doubt about that.
And by the way, that's part of the job description.
Yep.
Right?
Recruiting.
No, but I think it's easier to recruit to Auburn than it is Stillwater.
Yeah. That's like saying, hey, he was a good surgeon, but, you know, his knife, his scalpel was sharper than Mike Gundy's.
But I'm going to say.
That's part of the job to make sure you have a good
if you've got more talent, that should equate to championships.
I think I think your argument for Dye is more based on. Well, it's not more based on. There is some basis for this argument as a neutral observer here, right? I think Pat Dye.
I think you're placating to the Auburn.
No. I don't think that he's doing that.
I covered it with my own eyes. Yeah, I saw what he did.
I think what Dunaway is doing here is that Pat Dye told like this, and he felt like a football coach.
The guy
and Mike Gundy looks like a joker. Lance even said it. He's fighting for the guy and says he looks like a joker on the sideline. I think one looks like a football coach and one looks like
Auburn football in the 70s was about as bad as you can get in the SEC and not be Vanderbilt. That's how bad they were in the 70s. And they had talent, and they were losing games.
Well, Doug Barfield was a bad coach.
Yeah, he was a bad coach. Pat Dye had to come in and clean all that up while building it into the program we see today. He did that.
Yeah.
He did that.
Well, I mean, you look at what Gundy's done. I mean, whoever takes us over is getting in better shape.
Yeah,
and by the way, in-season coaching is so important to me. This is a team that started 2-2, got run off the field against South Alabama, and they ended up with double-digit wins.
Now, I'm also going to point out Doug Barfield was probably better in the SEC than you remember him. He had 2 winning records in the SEC.
Two times they were.
He was over 500 in the SEC, and I think that probably would surprise you.
It doesn't surprise me. No, I lived it.
You just said they were as bad as anybody but Vandy. I mean, he was 15-14-1.
15-14-1. In that period of time, go back and compare everyone else.
Well,
if you go back, that's going to be about, if I remember correctly, about what LSU was, about what everybody but Georgia and Alabama.
And by the way, for the record, if this was a 4-downs question, I would say, boy, this is tight, but I'm going to go Pat Dye.
Yeah.
So I would lean Pat Dye. I'm just saying, I think after another double-digit win season from Mike Gundy, they were 2-2 to begin the year in September. They looked awful. To turn this around and get it back on the tracks, I think he is a much better than advertised coach.
Well, let me just say this.
I think he's a top 15 coach. Would you agree with that?
I would not put Mike Gundy
Yeah.
in my top 15.
Oh,
No,
you wouldn't?
I would not, no.
I don't want to do this on the air.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much. But will you just, over the course of the breaks, write your top 15 out just to see who you put in
15
front of
might
him?
be strong. It might be top 20,
No,
but it's close.
I'd like to hear who Dunaway has in front of him. He's doing it right now. Is there somebody? Oh, I never did MyBookie. MyBookie.ag, code next round. Lance's longer than I imagined and different than I imagined. Hot take. I did not know that's where you're going. Was presented by MyBookie.ag, code next round. When you use code next round at MyBookie.ag, you make your initial deposit. They give you a sign-on bonus, and that bonus is up to $1,000. Money you could use right away at MyBookie.ag. MyBookie.ag, when you use code next round, you can bet anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie.ag. The national championship semifinal lines, the same as they were last night. Michigan -1.5 today. Texas -4. Scott continues to point out each day, and I'm not criticizing Scott. I'm glad he does this. The Georgia line continues to climb. Georgia's up to a 19-point favorite in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think it can get higher than 21, but I wouldn't be surprised if it touches 21.
I am willing to say right here, bold statement, without doing the research, this is the biggest point spread in Orange Bowl history. It's got to be, right? Lance, which one? What else could it 19?
You know, when you had the bowl tie-ins at Oklahoma was so dominant back in the day, I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma was more.
Boy, 19's a lot. All right, where
See if I can find it.
So MyBookie.ag, code next round.
Roman Harper in the next segment will make up all the spots as we go to break here. Kleiman, Sweeney, Jonathan Smith, Ferentz, Jed Fish, Brian Kelly.
Jed Fish. Dunaway, he's coached one good year. Dunaway, that is insane. Just go
Lanning,
to break. No, we're done. We're done. We're
Smart.
done.
No, you can't go
Norvell,
Dan Lanning over him.
Saban, Sarkisian.
Dan Lanning
DeBoer,
in game has killed his
Harvard.
team in back-to-back years.
Dan Lanning's a much better coach
Oh,
than
my
Gundy.
God, you're a dumbass.
If Mike Gundy walked through the door today to coach either Auburn or Alabama, the state would burn down. I promise you. Roman Harper coming up on the other side.
All the SEC with our All-SEC analyst, Roman Harper. Thursdays at 9:25.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Support the show and grab some great t-shirts and hoodies right now in the Next Round store. Buy the Alabama State Map shirts in your team's favorite colors, the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest, or Next Round flag shirts are also online now. Just go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store. The traditional Next Round logo shirts are there too. Buy them for yourself, or they make a great gift for someone else. And let us know what you'd like to see in the store coming up. Nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Here's your thought of the day right here.
Is this your only thought of the day?
It's a fact.
Oh.
You're the average teenager in your home today gets 237 notifications on their smartphone a day.
Oh, whoa.
And they respond to 46 of them.
I'm not that, the response might be lower for me. I'm not that far behind on notifications. My wife says it gives her anxiety to hold my phone.
Yeah, see, I turn all my notifications off.
Yeah, see, I can't do that. I need text. I need some emails.
Yeah, I mean, I've got text, but I mean, the majority of the notifications.
Yeah, text and emails. Now, other stuff I really don't get notifications for. I'm with Lance. Like, when my credit card is used, text, email, that's pretty much it for me.
237 notifications. That's the average for your teenager with a smartphone in 2023, and they respond to 46 of them per day.
Wow. All right, Roman Harper is with us now. He joins us each week courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code Next Round to get that sign-on bonus at MyBookie.ag. He's laughing at Dunaway's fact of the day. Do you get a lot of notifications, Harp?
I mean, if I do, I first of all, I'm like my man LT. I got everything cut off. Like, it's hard. You got to find me. I'm very hard to get a hold of. But I do have my notifications on for texting, and that's probably about it. Everything else is pretty dang silent. I don't like answering. I don't like to be known. I'm out. So that's me. That gives me anxiety too, and I don't even have anxiety.
So Harp, the last time we talked, you were like, you guys tell me. I don't know how Michigan offensively is going to be able to put together consistent drives and be able to score on this defense. And I know you probably respect Brock Heward from Fox. And talking to him yesterday, we ranked our top 4 quarterbacks in the college football playoff. I had J.J. McCarthy at number 4, and it was based on I just haven't seen him be able to, they haven't put a game on his shoulders. So he might be the most talented quarterback there. I just don't know. But Brock had him at number 2 of the college football playoff quarterbacks behind Michael Penix. And he said, I'm telling you, this guy is so underrated. He's got the skill set. He can do it all. I don't know. Your thought, have you changed your mind on this Michigan offense versus this Bama defense at all?
So to address what you're saying, as far as the quarterbacks are concerned, J.J. McCarthy has a great skill set, right? That's what everybody wants to look at. Okay, where's their skill set? Can he throw it? Yes. Great arm. He's athletic. He can move. He's got the size. But like you said, what does he have to do? At some point, you still just can't be a guy that's a really great and just looks like, you look like Tarzan, but I'm not saying he plays like Jane. That's not it at all. But you still got to go out there and do it. And I'm with you. He's not as impressive to me as everybody else, as he is to everybody else. I'm just not that impressed because, I mean, if I had to hand the ball off 45 times, it's just today's quarterback game is just different. Michael Penix, I'm still kind of up and down on. I think he's very inaccurate at times. The more and more of a deep dive I've done into this 4-game matchup, these 4 teams, I'm not as impressed as Michael Penix either. So he's got some really great wide receivers on the outside that he throws the ball up and gives them a chance, but his feet are all over the place. He's got bad mechanics. And this, I'm just talking about on the next level. I'm sorry that I am just used to what I've seen on Sundays for all these years, and that's what I compare these guys to. As far as college quarterbacks, I like all of them. But I'm always thinking at the next level, which is this is how they always want to project these guys. Michael Penix's footwork's terrible, and he's highly inaccurate at times because of it. And he has great wide receivers on the outside that really save him, or he makes a lot of good throws. But all overall, I'm kind of with you on that. Now, my opinion on the original, I still don't see how it happens. I'm still trying to add this up in my mind. And I'm continuing to try and poke holes in my own mind over here because I think I'm crazy. But Michigan, Alabama's a bad matchup for Michigan. That's all I'm saying.
Let's do a little Thursday morning theater. Alabama fans are the best, but you've experienced a couple of them that would say something like this, Roman. I'm not sure I want Jace to play. He didn't play against Georgia. We were just fine. I like the running backs we had out there. Why do we want Jace back?
Why are they so high pitched?
How would you respond to that? Because it looks like McClellan's going to be back. Right? I don't want Jace back.
No, I appreciate the effort of the country accent, though. And I would not. Look, I love Alabama. I love everything that is it. I'm from the state. You guys all know that. But the fans, I would not say are great. I mean, they're spoiled, especially now. It comes across. Everything comes across as kind of spoiled. I will be honest, though. This was the best year I've seen out of the Alabama fans. And I think it's because they didn't know. They didn't walk in the stadium every week just believing, we're just going to win. If we're not up by 20, it's not a good game. I think because they were on pins and needles because of the early loss, they actually participated in a better way. So LSU, Tennessee, they all had great performances as fans. But as far as that last statement is concerned, you want to be as healthy as you can be. I understand what they're saying because Jam Miller and Roydell Williams are both downhill running backs. And maybe I don't know if that's the type of message or whatever type of game plan you want to send, because Jace he's not the same, like just straight downhill, bounce off a guy, just get 5 yards. Jace McClellan has the ability to be able to take the distance more than these other guys do. We'll see what their game plan is, but I mean, they're not that far off by saying that. That's all I'm saying. They're not crazy like they normally are by saying that, but you want to be as healthy as you can, and Jace McClellan, he has earned the right to be in that game and play.
Roman Harper is with us from the SEC Network. He joins us each week courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code NEXTROUND when you sign on at MyBookie.ag for that sign-on bonus up to $1,000. Code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. I don't know, and you may know, you would have a better shot at knowing than I do, what the defensive signal calling situation is for Alabama. Is it Kevin Still and Travaris Robinson and a concerted duo effort? Is Kevin Still calling it? Is T-Rob calling it? One of them got input. I don't know. But and you're laughing already, so whatever. What?
Where is this coming from? This is a defense that's played better all year long. How is this just now the question in week right before the playoffs?
Because I'm an idiot. But I'm asking whatever it is. That was going to be my point. It has worked so well, especially late in the season, and it would speak to both of those guys that whatever the situation is, they have found a way to make it work. Why are you laughing at this? I'm giving them a compliment. I didn't do it in a high-pitched country accent. I could go back and do it that way if you want me to.
Well, it's just because Kevin Still's the defensive coordinator and T-Rob is the DB coach, who's clearly had an elevated impact or role in whatever their defense is this year. And so I would just give hats off to everybody. Kevin Still is still highly much so involved. T-Rob clearly is involved in some of the things they're doing. And I don't know if it's as much as either coach. Well, I won't say that. I don't know if it's as much as, all right, it's like who's just calling it better, or are they just playing better? Have they just simplified from the things that they were doing last year? Have all of a sudden the players, they get it. They take more onus and more ownership in the things that they're doing on the field, and that everybody has bought in since that loss early in the season. I think it's a mixture and a combination of it all. But I do love anytime, me being a secondary player, that the defensive one of the defensive coaches, one of the high guys that are making the calls or helping everything get done is a defensive backs coach, because DBs must understand what everybody else is doing on the field to make it really go and shine. And so I always love that perspective of it the most, because the further back you are away from the ball, the smarter you got to be, the more you got to see and understand, versus when it's a D-line or linebackers coach, sometimes they are not aware of some of the issues or situations they put the defensive secondary in. And I know this for a fact. And when I talk to Nick Saban and other coaches about these things, we all know the quickest way to lose the game is over the top. So as long as you don't lose the game over the top, you make teams try to line up and beat you play after play after play, which most offensive coordinators don't want to do, and most offenses cannot do.
Harp, I think you can make an argument that Terrion Arnold is the most improved player in college football from last year to this year. You played with a lot of great cornerbacks from college to the NFL. Coming into the season, there were a lot of Alabama fans. Man, we got Kool-Aid locked down. I just don't know about the other side. Coaches, guys like Lane Kiffin were calling him out by number. We know he's got a skill set, but how has he gotten this much better? Is it just a mental thing?
Yeah, I think confidence is one. Believing in yourself. Like, it's not like all of a sudden he got ability that he didn't have before. It was always there. He just had to learn what he could do in this defense, what you cannot do in this defense, where your eyes at. Your technique must be locked down and sound. And these are the little things that help you win on the outside in coverage all the time. And so understanding where my help is, what I can do, what I can't do. I think just that whole holistically growing, and then having the confidence to go out there and play too. And when having a short memory as a defensive back, like, that matters. Like, all these little things that you want in a secondary player, Terrion has all of those things. It's been really fun to watch him grow. It's been really fun to see his personality shine. And that, I see him on certain clips with you guys in the next round, and he's really coming into his own. I think he's enjoying himself as well. And sometimes that's what you need to do to be the best version of yourself. You need to be happy. You need to enjoy your space, enjoy your teammates, enjoy exactly where you are every single day. I think that's why I had so much fun in college, because I didn't care about the other stuff. Like, I was just playing ball, loving where I was at. I enjoyed my teammates, and I enjoyed my campus lifestyle as well.
We know you did.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
we fly out today to Southern California to cover the game. Is there one tourist attraction we should take the time to go see or do? Because you've been there, you spent a lot of time there.
I did. Not in Pasadena, though. Pasadena's a little, it's all right. It is the best backdrop in college football, though. I will say that. In all honesty, guys, you guys should just hit me up. We'll hit up West Hollywood one night. It's all about the nightcap. It's pretty cool out there. Everything shuts down about 1:30, 1:45, and then after that, it's all after parties in the hills. But I will not be staying in the hills, but I might be able to point you guys in the right direction.
Yeah, we were supposed to stay in West Hollywood, and we had a couple of properties, and they fell through. It probably would have been trouble.
You think that was a good thing they fell through?
I mean,
Harp will get a kick out. You'll get a kick out of why they fell through, Harp. When they realized we were bringing video cameras to do our show, they thought we were shooting porn.
No joke. No, 100%.
That is 100%. Correct. I stayed in the Valley one year, and in Sherman Oaks, right on the other side of West Hollywood. So, and I stayed in this house. It had a pool on the inside. It was like 7,000 square feet. It was super nice. Like, it was dope. And then my brother showed me a video a month or so later, and they had definitely filmed porn in that house. So,
and that pool you were swimming in.
Wait a minute.
That whole pool, that whole season, it was like a couch over there. I was like, damn, man.
No.
It was not, I mean, it was what it was.
So what do you think?
What it is,
we might or might not be staying in Sherman Oaks. What did you think overall about Sherman Oaks?
I like Sherman Oaks. It's easier to get to. Well, it's a lot of restaurants, and the prices are a little bit a little bit cheaper. It's a little bit warmer in the Valley as well. It's always going to be 5 to 8 degrees, a little bit warmer just on that side. And it was bad, though. It was cool. I enjoyed it. It's easy to get to stuff. You don't have to deal with the Hollywood stuff, the West Hollywood stuff, traffic. So right there on Sunset, Hollywood, all that other stuff is right there on that side. Once you get over on the other side of it, it's a lot more chill over there on that side. So I enjoyed Sherman Oaks. I also loved West Hollywood Hills because I'd be able to bust right down and just get into all the stuff I needed to. And but it was a lifestyle. I mean, I'm not living that lifestyle anymore. So Sherman Oaks is perfectly fine, guys.
Yep. I'm going to be happy there, I believe. All right, here's Roman Harper, SEC Network at Harp41. You'll see him talking about the Bama-Michigan game, and he's presented by MyBookie.ag. Harp, thank you very much. Happy New Year. We'll see you in L.A.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See you guys then. And I will be honest with you. I think I know what's going to happen in the Alabama-Michigan game. I am so excited about the Washington-Texas game because literally I do not know. So thank you.
All right, so Harp's excited to see who Alabama plays for the national championship when Washington, Texas. Gotcha. Thank you, Harp. See Harp with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
A couple of great sponsors bringing you our coverage today. That includes JohnstonRVCenter.com. Brown will tell you more about them in a second. Also, our friends at Wayne's, 866-WAYNES-1, 866-WAYNES-1, or call Waynes.com. You get an opportunity right now. Because when it gets cold outside, and we experienced this in our garage a few weeks back, and you have a rodent that tries to make its way on the inside, and Wayne's can protect that. They can that thing will drop just like that once it gets on the inside, because for my friends at Wayne's never made it inside the perimeter because Wayne's takes care of that kind of stuff for you. Keep the rodents on the outside as the cold temperatures come your way, and save $50 off on all reoccurring costs with our friends right there at Wayne's. All you have to do is go to callwaynes.com, callwaynes.com, or phone them up, 866-WAYNES-1. Pest-free new year for you. And don't forget, we're about to crank up the growing season. They got lawn care, termite protection, and everything. 50 years of great service with our friends at Wayne's. Call Waynes.com. Tell us again about Johnston RV Center, Brown.
They're on I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. You might have noticed the shirt Harp was wearing, D-Day shirt.
Yep.
He respects the military like we all do. Harp knows it. We know it. And Johnston RV knows it. You make America the greatest country in the entire universe. Those of you who have served or are serving in the uniform military, and we greatly appreciate you. So does Johnston RV. They give you a great discount. They've come back from the Forest River Expo, and they got a ton of stuff that's arriving daily, but they've also got a big selection of previously owned. You get a full lifetime warranty on anything previously owned under 2 years of age or anything brand new. You could see it for yourself. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online at JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Now, you heard me mention Jace McClellan there. Nick Saban saying yesterday that McClellan is on track to be back and ready to go in this game. He missed, of course, the SEC championship contest. Roman said that depending on the game plan, they may be better off with more Roydell and Jam like they did in the SEC championship game. His answer at the end sort of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, but Jace is one of these veterans that can do a lot of different things, and I think all hands on deck in a situation like this.
I think
it can only be a positive if he plays.
It's going to sound like a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. The combo, hear me out, the combo of Alabama's running backs or the combo of Michigan's running backs?
They're pretty deep, too, in Corum and Edwards.
They are. But Alabama's got three pretty good backs. I mean, that's closer than I think most people would
I
think.
would just say that Corum is kind of next level.
He is, which is why I went combo, right? I mean, I think Alabama's got some good depth at back there. I don't think it's as big a... if you measured those two, I don't think it's as off as much people would initially say.
Yeah, I think when you look, though, much like Alabama's receivers, is Alabama's had unbelievable backs in the past, and I think Blake Corum would be in that category.
Yeah, you're the comparison.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting ready. We'll hear from Jalen Milroe. The team's practicing again today. Some media availabilities coming up here at 12 noon today, 10 a.m. Pacific time. The Michigan defensive players will go. And then Alabama's offensive players, they flip tomorrow. The Alabama's offensive players will go about 1:30 Central Time, 11:30 out there Pacific Time, a little bit later on today. Actually, those are Central Times, Jim. 10 o'clock Central for Michigan, 11:30 Central for Alabama's players today out there in Los Angeles as they get ready to continue practicing. Alabama in full pads yesterday. Simpio bringing you that update there from Pasadena.
Yeah, our friends at Simpio want to remind you when your business joins Simpio, they're going to take care of the 4 pillars in every single office. Things we knew nothing about. That's HR compliance, payroll, benefits. For more information, Simpio.com. You can call 205-635-7467. On average, Simpio is saving companies of all sizes and industries over 18% net of their fees. You can join Simpio any time of year, no annual contract. With that being said, 99% retention rate. Call today, 205-635-7467 or Simpio.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbeham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations, but we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live daily show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of peace of mind with a credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Why risk shopping with cash when you can enjoy the safety and convenience of shopping with their contactless credit card? With a Legacy credit card, you can enjoy incredible perks like rates as low as 8.9% APR, no annual fees, and no balance transfer fees. But that's not all. Earn fantastic rewards for travel and merchandise through Scoreboard Rewards. Apply online today at LegacyCreditUnion.com to make your holiday shopping not just safer, but smarter. APR and annual percentage rate. Certain restrictions may apply. Subject to approval. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Tom Luganville here for Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear. For great holiday shopping for the whole family, this place is a must. Jack's carries all the name brands in boots, hats, and apparel, including the Kynes Ranch brand, as seen on Yellowstone. You might not look like Kevin Costner, but you can dress like him. Jack's also has the only Ariat shop within a shop in the state of Alabama. Come see us every Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Just look for the big red building off I-65, exit 304 in Coleman.
Southern Rubber Tire is the choice for tires and service in downtown Birmingham. Bryant and the guys can handle any of your automotive needs and carry all major tire brands. From brakes to alignments to oil changes and more, no job too big or too small. Southern Rubber and Tire, conveniently located on 6th Avenue North near I-65. You can check them out online today. Go to southernrubbertire.com. Let them know you heard it from The Next Round. Before you get on the road in 2024, head into Southern Rubber Tire.
Back with you on The Next Round. Josh Pate, one of our favorites, back from a beach trip, joins us at the top of the hour.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. I just follow him on social media. I saw a picture of the beach one time. He's like, people are praying or wishing for a white Christmas when you could have this. It was like a sunset on the beach.
I'd rather have a white Christmas.
Really? Not me.
Oh, dude, I love the beach more than anyone, but I want my Christmases cold. Like, I did not like how mild it was this Christmas.
Dude,
I hate the cold.
If it never, ever, no, if I was in my teens and had to worry about global warming, if that's a thing, I would regret saying this, but if it never, ever, ever, ever got below 70 degrees again, I would be okay.
Why don't you move?
Well, I have a little obligation here on a daily basis to start with.
Well, I mean,
I like where I live.
After your obligation's done, you can move places at 70 plus.
Yeah, do you think you'll retire to the heat?
I don't.
You don't? You're going to stay here in Birmingham?
I don't think I'll retire, but two,
What's your plan?
I'm day to day.
Die on the set.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to the beach.
Probably doing ball.
Yeah, so I'll retire down there.
Talking ball.
But you know what? I'll come back up here for the winters, or not for the winters, for Christmas, for the holidays.
Yeah,
I just like my holidays to have a little seasonal feel to them.
I've got 8 to 10 years left, and that's it for me. So,
yep. So 8 to 10 now.
Oh, we talked about this the other day.
Lance and I talked.
Yeah, if I'm working here longer, in 8 more years.
Yeah, my initial plan was 8.
Push me off a cliff.
Yeah, 8. Yeah. My master plan.
I thought you were here until little one graduated,
which is 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. But
wow, it's going fast.
Those last 2 years, might be like semi-retirement or something. I'm willing to do that if it helps the company. Now that I own the company, like if we were still just working for Cumulus, I'm 100% 8 years out.
We probably should let hopefully Little T's listening because she's planning on being here the rest of her life.
Well, the company's not going to die without us. We're going to build something.
How about everybody back here?
Well, no. I mean, no. Listen, we're going to build something that's going to.
Screw the rest of us.
No,
next round will keep moving,
guys.
I was just saying she was the youngest, and I hear her talking about the rest of her life. Meanwhile, I got Forster getting his master's degree in something I don't even know what it is.
I would say we can't work
I keep
forever,
waiting for
right?
him to walk in one day and say, "Hey, I'm on the way out."
I think the back row can look at this set right here and think those guys, they're going to retire at some point. Yeah. We're going to build something that survives beyond us.
Much
guys.
like we did.
Retire in a pine box is what I thought.
No, that's done away. I've never once said that.
Lunsford,
I got you, Jim.
Here with you guys.
We didn't give you a heads up. We were leaving today. We are giving you a heads up in 8 years. Me and Brown are out.
This is an 8-year heads up. 8-year heads up. Hey, we got the Lunsford cam.
So here
have we been using that? Whoa, have we been using that?
We did on Friday. We used the Forrester cam.
Okay.
And then we've got the Lunsford cam up and rolling as well.
I like that.
Yep.
Good to see you, Lance.
We're working on a little skirting to go in the front there.
Okay.
Yep.
Like Lance said, we're giving Lunsford an 8-year heads up now. Yeah. So we've learned our lesson from yesterday.
I think there's a chance that the world could be gone in 8 years,
Could
right?
be. You never know.
You talk about global warming?
I'm not promised tomorrow.
Yeah. There's a couple of things I try not to do on the show is talk about corporate financing, arguing with each other about that, and about when shows will ever end. So I'm with you guys until the end.
You like arguing on the show.
I
Round
do.
2, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
The show is being brought to you in part today by our friends at Bromberg. Tell us about Bromberg.
Since 1836, family owned and operated. If you're thinking about popping the question this new year, rolling into 2024, you need to go see the Diamond Specialist. That is our friends at Bromberg's. 2 locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit. You can always shop their vast array of great inventory. Go online, go to brombergs.com.
Okay. By the way, one news note from the NBA, Aaron Gordon of the Nuggets, 21 stitches to his face and hand. He's going to miss some time. A dog bite. Got into it with a dog. It didn't say whether it was his dog or somebody else's dog.
I'm going to guess this is probably not fair, but I'm going to say probably a pit. Does it? Did it? When I saw it run on the ticker last night, I was just like,
did not say that.
Of course, if it was a pit, it might have taken his face off.
Right. Yeah, those things can go crazy, man.
Didn't say that, but I would say that this time of year, I saw a lot on the timelines and such that people give dogs as pets this time of year. Or you're visiting friends and or family that may have a dog as well, and those dogs don't adjust to a lot of new people in the house sometimes.
Yeah, I would say it was not a pup because 21 stitches is pretty deep. They said it was a family dog.
Oh, I missed that. So it was a family dog?
Suffered lacerations to his face and a right shooting hand while being bitten by a family dog on Christmas.
Oh.
That's not the best family dog if you're going to give you 21 stitches.
The family dog's going after the moneymaker, too.
Now, I can guarantee you that bullet and chili are pains in the asses, but they're not going to bite you.
Okay. Or Vizsla is just not, they don't bite?
Yeah, they don't bite. I've never come across an aggressive Vizsla.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in football yesterday, other than the 2 games we already talked about, we also got Virginia Tech handling Tulane, killing my mybookie.ag right out of the gate play yesterday. And then West Virginia beat North Carolina 30-10. Yesterday was the day we poured condiments on people. Let's roll through this real quick. Neil Brown got 9 wins this year. Good for Neil Brown. He was in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and LT loves mayonnaise. I'm not sure he loves mayonnaise as much as this happening to you after a win. Neil Brown.
Oh, it's so disgusting.
Well, that's, they diluted. That's not even like their legitimate mayonnaise.
Yeah,
I use Duke's, and Duke's is a lot thicker than that. That is not the consistency of Duke's.
I always think of this when I see it, though. There's nothing in me that can envision Nick Saban or Kirby Smart ever coaching in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. But in the event they do you think they would allow this to happen?
I think they'd probably tap out. Okay, you see the report on the left by the Duke's mascot?
Yeah.
the guy with the beard.
Okay.
Now, he was working sidelines for ESPN, and he just had...
I think it's Harry Lyles is his name.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And he had a thing of the Duke's mayonnaise, and he was just like dipping things in it.
Hard pass.
And I love doing that. See, like I did finally, did the corn dog and the chili last night at Odie's.
Yeah.
And I thought about getting the mayonnaise for the corn dog, but I didn't do it.
That is watered down mayonnaise, though, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a substance, a paste they create just for this pouring event.
Yeah.
So then, this has been such a big hit the last 2 years with the Mayo Bowl that last night in the Holiday Bowl, they decided to pour eggnog on Lincoln Riley. So he gets to sit down, his team gets to pour eggnog on him. A new tradition started this year. Hope you like eggnog, Coach. And there goes the eggnog.
Geez. Now, that looks like legitimate eggnog. What a shitty year, though. You go 8-5 and you get eggnog dumped on you in the Holiday Bowl.
I mean, that is salt in the wounds, isn't it?
And you probably spent more on your roster than Dunaway's Tampa Bay Rays do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They did get 9 wins, so hopefully we can too at one point.
This is the first season I haven't had eggnog. Typically I go to Hamburger Heaven and see Pete Flack and all of his great locations. My little guy, Jack, went through multiple times. I just didn't get any eggnog, whether it was a shaken Hamburger Heaven or regular.
Maggie usually is buying eggnog by the quarts and mixing cocktails at the house for herself. She loves eggnog, and I don't remember her having an eggnog all holiday season.
Do you want me
Was
to
there a
make
shortage?
And I love it. I don't know. I just didn't even think about it.
You want me to maybe shock you guys? I don't know that I've ever had eggnog.
I don't think I have either, Brown.
Oh, eggnog is fantastic.
I don't think I've ever had it. Can you still get it?
Well, you can get the eggnog shake right now at but the eggnog will be on the shelves for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now,
do you like milk?
I like milk.
Yeah. I mean, it's just basically it's almost like a milk custard.
Ooh.
It's got a nice little spice kick to it.
Interesting.
Oh, it's great.
Okay. I may try eggnog.
Little nutmeg in it, right?
Nutmeg, yep.
Yeah. Sam, pretty funny. Guaranteed rate bowl. They just dump high interest rates on you.
It's another house payment.
We all know Amari Cooper had a career day for the Browns this past weekend, and Flacco went over 300 yards in that contest. Give me cut number 8 if you can, Tyler. In that contest, it was also on Nickelodeon because it was CBS on Christmas Day. Then it was on Nickelodeon. So Amari Cooper gets to do this to Joe Flacco. Listen in.
What's up, y'all? It's Amari Cooper, your MVP for this week. All credit goes to Joe Flacco, though. Oh, man.
That's pretty good.
I know to get it go up my nose. You got 2 more, homie.
You got 2 more, homie.
The hell I do.
You say that.
You good, though? Is it a decent hair gel?
That's pretty good.
Oh, my God.
I've always wondered what was in that slime.
I know.
And, we get Flacco and Amari Cooper back on the field tonight as they host the Jets. And let's not forget, Joe Flacco played for the Jets last year. And his only win was against Cleveland. Where they came back. Yeah, threw 4 touchdowns, 2 in the final 2.5 minutes. It was a crazy comeback. And now you've got Jets-Browns tonight. And the playoff implications for the Browns, super high here. The Browns right now, I think, would be the 3 seed, right? No.
They clinch. They clinch a playoff berth with a win tonight. We'll talk about those playoff scenarios and about that game tonight coming up. Josh Pate standing by on the other side after this quick timeout. After we remind you that Coke Zero, the question we're asking this holiday season, is it the best Coke ever? It's a bold question, but the unbelievable taste backs it up and makes the question worthwhile. Coke Zero Sugar. Go taste it for yourself. Is it the best Coke ever? Find out with Coke Zero Sugar.
The Burnout with the SEC Network's Peter Burns and Ryan Brown weekly at Disrupt the Media on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 in Hoover with Walk-Ons.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Are you ready to make this holiday season one to remember? Legacy Credit Union is here to make your dreams come true with their lifestyle loans. Whether you need a little extra cash for gifts or you want to take that unforgettable holiday vacation, Legacy has the right loan for you. With affordable monthly payments, flexible terms, and absolutely no collateral required, Legacy Credit Union is your trusted partner for your stress-free holiday season. Apply in minutes. Go to LegacyCreditUnion.com to get the financial support you need to enjoy the holidays to the fullest. Again, LegacyCreditUnion.com.
Restrictions apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever?
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We'll find out if he really was at the beach or not. They made me feel like I was a stalker on Josh Pate when I said he's just back from the beach. But I remember on my timeline on a story at some point, he's like, somewhere somebody's praying for a white Christmas when they could have this.
Yeah.
I think that's about like the gist of this. We'll get to Pate to talk a lot about the playoff games after LT tells us about our friends at Hemp Hill.
Yeah, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services today. Tell them the Next Round sent you. They'll hook you up with a $69 tune-up. You need to keep that unit keeping up with the changing weather. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090. It's hard to stop a train.
He was heavily featured in Little T's end-of-the-year recap that it's out on social media. I don't know that Pate has seen that, but you made several appearances. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Josh Pate? How are you?
Yeah, I'm of the opinion she should enter that thing in some small festivals, and I am actually in the process of looking to ship an honorary Andes Mint to her just because I loved it that much. I appreciate it. From me to her through you guys. Thank you.
The Andes Mint is so underrated. I never see them anymore. Like at Diplomat Deli, they've got like a little thing of them.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. I brought one for each of us, and do you know that I came back from the beach with these, and I showcased them, and someone hit me up and said, how many Olive Garden lobbies did you have to rob to get that many Andes?
That is so true.
They are. Do you like them room temp or
cold.
frozen?
They're better cold.
Well, if they're cold, they're just going to become room temp in my mouth because I don't chew them like a psychopath. I let them slowly melt on my tongue.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Look, You're right. I don't see them anymore. And yet I've never met a single person who says, ooh, I don't like Andes Mints. Candy corn is divisive. Andes Mints could unite this country. And why are we?
And I don't like mint, Pate. I don't like mint, but I love Andes Mints.
They're unbelievable. They are universally accepted as great, and yet we don't see them anywhere, which is typical.
It would be a good liqueur, too. Like, I think you could mix that with a cocktail if you had a liqueur that was Andes on the top.
Yeah, I feel we're a little highbrow, A, calling it Andes. I always called it Andes. And B, talking about liqueur. I mean, I feel like this is the most highbrow moment in show history.
No, but I think Andes would be with a Y, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I grew up in Calhoun County. I mean, I'm surprised. Pate grew up near Columbus, Georgia, that he calls it Andes.
Do you ever elongate certain letters that
Like
you
what?
know good and well shouldn't be elongated? Because I did it. I've called this Andes my whole life.
Yeah.
But when it's something about the uppity nature of this show that just made me go, this morning.
We are highbrow, so I understand that.
I know how all this works. At some point, when he gets back from the college ball playoffs, there will be a year's supply of these mints at his doorstep.
No doubt.
Because of his NIL deal here with us today. So
Get
congratulations to you. I appreciate that. So were you at the beach? Do I remember this correctly? It wasn't some kind of drug-induced dream I had over the holidays, right? A beach trip?
I was, man. So my girlfriend lives or grew up on the coast of a state along the Gulf Coast. And there is a beach there. It's very, very underrated. It's undervisited. I'm not even giving the name of the beach because the locals don't really want it promoted. But it was amazing. Sunset down there like you wouldn't believe. I grew up in the South. Okay, so I always fantasized about snow on Christmas. But lately, I think it's Dunaway rubbing off on me, but I have inverted totally. And I have become my father, essentially. Not that Dunaway and I are biologically related. I don't want to confirm that this morning.
Here we go.
But
again.
I love warm weather, man. I love like the idea of a beach and tropical vibes for Christmas now.
Yeah, me too. That St. Simon area down in Georgia is really a good place. I like it.
You're gonna try to pull it out.
Yeah,
of
nobody knows about St. Simon.
Yeah.
No, there's an area down there that near St. Simon that I like a lot. The Greenways were from there in college. They were just good people.
He's talking about Cape Sandblast. I mean, I can cut right through this. It's Cape Sandblast 100%.
Am I now?
Everybody in Birmingham has figured that joint out, so it's going to get overrun soon.
Very
trust
dog
me.
friendly, by the way. So, Pate, are you wearing a Jurassic Park shirt?
I am. Yeah. Would you like to talk to the Pecs this morning?
No, the reason I think it's so funny, there is like an underground society that think Jurassic Park is the best movie ever. I thought in '93 it was great. I think it holds up. I met a couple. It was one of the weirdest conversations I've ever had at a TNT playoff kickoff party. And they knew everything about Jurassic Park. It was their favorite movie. They watch it like once a month. But I've talked to people since that it's like their number one movie of all time.
You phrased that. You said there are some underground societies, and then you said, I've been in a couple, as if to insinuate you've been in the societies themselves and just conversations about Jurassic Park.
No, I stumbled across them.
I think we took it for granted at the time. So I think it really, really holds up. Like you could show some folks movies from the mid-'90s. I'm of the opinion that Titanic in 1997, if it would have been made 10 years later, would hold up from a special effects perspective a whole lot more. Jurassic Park was made way before Titanic, and it holds up brilliantly. And it was what you said, 1993?
Yep.
I think it was. And also, it was one of those movies, Independence Day did the same thing, where they made it a blockbuster during production. They knew that they were doing like this stuff I'm wearing, and they were doing the rides, and they were doing all those things, and it was brilliantly done. But look, I've got people in my life who have still never seen Jurassic Park, and they think it's just some like dinosaur movie for kids. And I'm like, there are so many life lessons. I feel the same way about Scream 2. There are so many life lessons to be learned from these movies.
Yeah, I've never seen Jurassic Park. I've never seen it.
Never seen it?
I have not. No,
that's good.
Oh, okay. Well, your Andes mint is going back in the drawer for now.
I am off.
Hey, and you'll be happy. Twister is having a sequel come out this summer. You knew that, right? Twisters?
I know it.
Okay.
You also would not be surprised to learn that I've already done a little research on extras and where they're filming and what's needed. And I got very little to do in the spring. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, so Bill Paxton has passed away. Who's going to play in this?
I'm also open to being a lead character. I don't have to be relegated to extra. I just thought that was my foot in the door. I don't know.
I think the centralized character, the main character, is going to be Helen Hunt's daughter. I mean, not biologically, but the Helen Hunt character.
So to bring this full circle, is Helen Hunt going to have the Hope Diamond and she's in a hurricane? Or she's in a tornado?
Possibly. But I think it's going to be based on her daughter.
Okay.
Who I guess will be a storm chaser, much like you.
Yeah, no, well, not to spoiler alert the ending for the 1996 blockbuster Twister, but as we remember, Bill Paxton and her got together right after anchoring to pipes to survive the F5 tornado at the very end. So I would guess that is his daughter and his legacy lives through her.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I don't want to say this is going to be an easy plot to figure out. They will have a short cameo from Helen Hunt, and they will talk about Bill Paxton's character, how he lost his life in a storm.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. You also, I think you guys and I have talked about this because this is how twisted our conversations end up becoming. The girl who plays Melissa, Jamie Gertz, she was in a lot of other movies, but the girl who plays Bill Paxton's fiance in Twister, I think one of the wildest bits of Hollywood trivia ever is she is now part owner of the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Wow.
In real life. And
Yeah.
people always think I'm making that up. They have to Google it. It's worth a Google.
Yeah, if you do net worth, Jamie Gertz has got more than 99% of the actors out there, and she hasn't done anything, I think, since something like Twister.
It's, that Twister money's that Twister. Can you imagine getting the Twister royalty check in her mailbox and how it compares to what she just gets for waking up every morning?
Yeah, that's really good. By the way, I'm pushing now for anchoring to pipes T-shirts in our store.
Yeah,
it's a great way.
Anchored to pipes.
Yeah, whatever the kids are calling it today, anchoring to pipes is one of them.
Do you think that's the way a tornado looks from the inside, the way it looked when they were anchored to those pipes?
I think Twister was a very entertaining movie.
Okay, so that's a no.
That is my official stance on Twister. It was very entertaining.
I know we got to get to football, but one more thing on the tornado.
This is what happens, Pate. We have this challenge that when we go down a road, nobody wants to ask the first sports question.
They really don't.
It becomes a phobia of
No,
mine.
I think this. I've told these guys my algorithms now. They give me disastrous like car crashes and people falling off ceilings.
Can't imagine why.
But one of them was these dudes were stuck in the middle of a tornado. Have you seen this? And like their car, it's like overcome in like the aftermath, them getting out, and they basically just fall to the ground. They're both crying. I mean, it's one of them's just praying to God the entire time. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, I've seen it. We were in Illinois chasing for real this past spring, and we were doing what is called hook slicing, which is a storm chasing term, which you don't need to worry about. But we had a guy several hundred yards ahead of us get too close and ended up in a tornado, and he's thrown several times, car rolls several times. We're just witnessing this. And so we come up after that tornado pulls off in the distance. We come up on him. We don't know what we're about to see. And so we end up going and checking on him, and he's alive. He's good. Well, since then, the guy's made a YouTube video about it and got millions of views. And I think probably if you had him on today, he said it's the best thing that's ever happened to him. So there's a real fine line between disaster and striking it rich in the tornado chasing scene. I prefer to stay on the backside.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that hook slice.
Yeah, that's the old hook echo is what they're after right there.
Hook slicing
slice
is
that echo though.
Hook slicing is another nice T-shirt.
Yeah, the old hook slice. You know, I would say, and this is maybe a bold statement, you would know better, because, and for those that are watching throughout the country, we're based in Birmingham. I think the people of Birmingham are more educated about tornadoes than anywhere in the world.
Oh my goodness! I just had this debate with someone this past week.
What a weird debate to have with somebody.
I think the Oklahoma City metro, it would be the biggest metro area in terms of like the highest tornadic IQ, because that's generational. It's my opinion that Birmingham has only in the last 20 to 30 years gotten the national acclaim that it should as a tornado hotbed. Also the DFW, the Dallas metro, those kids were ingrained with it. But I think the OKC, Dallas, and Birmingham, in any order, those would be your top three.
So we're new money in the tornado game is what you're telling me.
Yeah, and you can still smell it a little bit, but the smell is fading.
Yeah, okay, good.
That's why we spend $2 bills on every one of our tornado road trips. We're new money. We're new money.
Yeah, but you know, as a kid, like we would do those, we would get sent down and you'd be in the hall and you'd put your head between your
all
knees.
The time.
And I never thought it was a big deal. And then after the tornado in Tuscaloosa in 2011, I have completely changed my stance on tornadoes.
Well, see, one hit my high school, though, when I was in school there. Now, I was in middle school at Sachs, but it hit Sachs High School and did some damage.
They scare me to death now.
Yeah, my school got hit when I was a kid, so I had a healthy fear of tornadoes from that point on. But my point is, I think the meteorologists, a lot of people focus on James Spann, and James does a tremendous job, but there are a lot of good ones in Birmingham, and they have educated the people on what to look for. I think most people around here know when to be scared and when not to be scared.
Would you call it a watch or a warning of high tide that the Wolverines are dealing with in Pasadena? Is there concern in the Michigan sides, or they feel confident going into this game?
The transition skills just continue to stun me.
He's the best in the business.
Professionalism all the way turned up to 11. I've been perusing several message boards, which, as you know, is the peak of our industry. You just got to search message boards and you got to see how the public is. You got to gauge the public temperature. And it has come to my attention that both Michigan and Alabama fans feel they have a significant edge in this game. I don't think either one of them do. I think it's going to be a great game. I don't think Vegas is stupid when they hung that number out there that still exists today, by the way. So if anyone has a massive edge, the sharpest people in the world don't know about it. But I think there may be a rude awakening of sorts, in a sense that I think some of Michigan's defensive statistical dominance has been built on total inferiority in the Big Ten offensively. I did not just say, I'm not talking to you guys, I'm talking about the folks who are about to take this and run with it. I didn't say they're not very good defensively. They're very sound defensively. I am saying that had I thrown a few more Ohio States, or if I threw an LSU on their schedule, I don't think they're holding LSU to whatever, their yearly average was, points per game. And so I think there'll be plays to be made. That's just a defense, though, that's so good at sitting back, taking advantage of your mistakes. And if you look at Michigan offensively, their statistical profiles average at best. Well, that's because they hadn't had to drive fields, because they've been set up with short fields all year from their defense. Their defense has either scored or set them up inside plus territory. So I know it's so easy for us to say, oh, if Bama doesn't turn it over, Bama wins. Well, that's the whole point. Are they going to turn it over? Because at some point you got to be aggressive, and that's the risk reward of aggression.
You wonder, too, and Josh Pate is with us, Late Kick Josh on Twitter, 24/7 Sports. He is, there are rumors, I don't know if it's true, he's going to have a jam-packed show tonight before leaving for Pasadena. That could or could not be true. You'll need to pay attention to Josh for that and subscribe wherever you get his work. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. You mentioned turnovers, and that's something Michigan does not do. You can dog out opponents, you can do whatever you want to Michigan, but they do not turn the football over, and you wonder what their reaction would be if all of a sudden they get a spate of those. One or two turnovers. Does that get in their head a little bit?
Yeah, it would. Well, I mean, it's a veteran-laden team, so I'm not saying they would be visibly shaken on national TV, but I think it would. My biggest fear for Michigan in this game is, what if Bama's front is able to get after J.J. McCarthy, which they will, and they can't run the ball? What if they're very limited running the ball? Because they cannot win this game if they can't run the ball. Bama can. There are paths where, like the Georgia game, Bama's under 3 yards per carry on the ground, and they still find a way to win the game. I don't think there's that path for Michigan, short of being +4 turnovers or something like that. So that's the great unknown to me. McCarthy, for as good as he was last year, including in the semifinal game, they scored 45, albeit in a loss, but they had to answer TCU. This year, back half of the season, pedestrian numbers at best. The counter to that would be, well, he's been banged up. Okay, well, we just gave him 3 weeks. So I should see the best version of J.J. McCarthy, seemingly, in his time at Michigan in this game. And they're going to need it, because I'm not sure of a lot of things these days, but one of them is, I don't think Michigan is just flat out winning the game, running the ball down Alabama's throat. I don't think anyone would do that. Georgia didn't do it. I don't think anyone's going to do it.
I agree with that.
That would be my biggest fear.
Hey, would you give me this? And I've said it for a couple of weeks. I think 3 of the teams in the college football playoff right now are playing with house money. I think if you're 3 of the fan bases, you can be like, Washington, year 2 under DeBoer, man, we are heading in the right direction. Sark, year 3 at Texas, heading in the right direction. Alabama, from where they were in September to making this unbelievable run, knocking off Georgia and getting back to a college football playoff. To me, it's house money. Alabama fans might disagree. But Michigan is the one team that not only needs to beat Alabama, they need to win a national championship, or the narrative behind Jim Harbaugh completely changes.
Couldn't agree more. The pressure in this entire field is on Michigan.
Yep.
Think about this. When's the last time we watched Bama go into a semifinal or title situation where the pressure wasn't on them? Because that's the situation here. To be very clear, this is not new. Beating Ohio State's not new for Michigan. They've done it 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row now. Making the playoffs not new. They've done it 3 years in a row now. Being in the national championship game, winning a national championship, as NFL talk once again circulates around your head coach, as a lot of these dudes who have been the nucleus of this team are about to depart for the next level, this is do or die time for them. That doesn't mean they'll never get another crack at it, but statistically, just percentage-wise, this is their best shot. You never know if you're going to get back there again. I know it seems like the window's always infinite and it's going to be open once you've got it rolling. We saw that thing close on Dabo Swinney pretty quickly. we could see that thing close on Michigan. It could close on Georgia. It could close on anyone. And so I agree with you. The other thing about it is, not that I disagree with you on Sark in Texas, but it would greatly behoove Steve Sarkisian to win this whole thing, because it's about to get infinitely harder for him to win a national championship. Right now, he's got it set where his path is beat in terms of odds, beat the fourth best team in the playoffs, and then maybe beat a team you already beat this year. Coming up, you got to go through an SEC schedule. You got to win more games in the playoff. He has his shot right now to be national championship winning head coach Steve Sarkisian for the rest of time. And I'm not saying he'll take the Jimbo Fisher trajectory, but think about how far Jimbo rode that 2013 national title. If he didn't win that, how long would he have been able to survive doing what he did after that?
Yeah.
And so you buy yourself so much equity on the back end if you can win one of those things.
Yep. Unless you're Gene Chizik.
Sure.
I would say this.
He got a pretty big check to go home out of it, though.
And we differ up here. I don't judge Steve Sarkisian by his previous head coaching jobs. I feel like this is a new version of Sark 2.0, because of the life changes he's attempted to make. Do you factor in his time at Washington and USC when you think of Steve Sarkisian, the head coach, or do you just go by this body of work since he spent time in Tuscaloosa?
I factor it all in, but I also agree with your sentiment. Like, I know what you're saying, and I agree with you, but to me, that's part of the beauty of it. Sometimes you screw up in life and in coaching, and you get punished for it, and then you learn lessons from it. It's not that that's the wildest concept in the world. It just so happens that you rarely get the third chance or the fourth chance in coaching, like sometimes you do in life. Steve Sarkisian's gotten that. Nick Saban is someone he owes pretty much everything to in getting him that opportunity. But the thing about it is, guys have coached under Saban before and gone on and failed on their own. Guys like Kirby, who's doing it his first time around, or guys like Sark, who failed and then came to the rehab clinic and then is going and doing it successfully. That, to me, is the message that really should be promoted. And it's always the reason why when a guy gets hired, I don't automatically just assume what his Wikipedia page says about him is what we're inheriting. Sometimes it is, but sometimes guys have learned lessons from the past and they're de-incentivized from doing it the way that failed them because they've already learned that way doesn't work.
So he is Josh Pate. You can do a lot of things. Follow him on Twitter at LateKickJosh. Go do exactly what we ask you to do for us on YouTube. Subscribe at Late Kick with Josh Pate on YouTube. Give him a thumbs up. It is very simple to click that thumbs up. We ask you to do it for us, do it for him, and set your alerts so you know when he's live, which could be. There are reports that it will be tonight. Pate, thank you very much for the time. Have a great new year. We will see you in Pasadena.
I will bring me an umbrella just in case. I'll see you guys out there.
Dunaway told us it's going to be sunny. Now, that's Jimmy Lamb. I ain't saying that.
It's sunny for game day. It's raining every other second we're out there.
Yeah, I did see that. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm of the belief that I think the Rose Committee is so powerful that they influence the Weather Channel to never forecast rain on the Rose Parade. They never forecast rain on that day. Yeah. It's always sunshine.
I'll pop an Andy's Mint to that.
Yeah.
Wow, lucky man right there. All right, thank you, Weather Channel. So 80-year-old people know that there won't rain on the Rose Parade then if it's the Weather Channel, yes. Thank you, Pate. Josh Pate with us.
Most popular channel on TV right now.
Is it really the Weather Channel?
Everywhere you go. You walk into the doctor's office, the Weather Channel.
Man, I haven't turned the Weather Channel on in forever, and I know you sent like a detailed forecast to us.
And I do appreciate that.
I didn't realize it was going to rain.
Yeah.
I didn't look at the forecast.
Oh.
It's really going to rain.
Yeah, we've got a little thing called El Nino going on out there where it's bringing in, it's the rainiest time of year in Southern California anyway, this time of these 6 weeks around the new year. Amazing, we always get sunshine for the Rose Bowl.
Yeah. But it still equates to no rain typically.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, rain's in the forecast. After PM showers, one day some thunderstorms inland. So.
Did you ever, like when I was a kid, my old man would try to time it out to get the locals on the 8? Like that's what the Weather Channel used to do at the 8 after the hour. They also show the local forecast.
I don't watch it, but I do remember that. I do remember that saying.
Yeah.
But like when I was getting my hip checked out, my leg checked out, every waiting room I went to, that was what was on the TV. So
the Weather Channel,
they get numbered just on waiting rooms.
Yeah,
it's going to rain on Saturday, possibly 60%. That's it.
Okay. Forecast changes, man. I looked yesterday. Where are you looking? No, what city?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. How many? We're in Malibu.
We're in the valley. We're in the San Fernando
We're
Valley.
In Sherman Oaks.
It's going to be different in the valley.
15 minutes from.
Yeah.
That 15 minutes could be the difference.
Yeah, that
man.
valley gets different weather, though, Jimmy.
It does. It's very. I watch Entourage. You can be hot in the valley and cold
right.
in Malibu.
Sherman Oaks, exact same thing. 60% on Saturday and no rain.
I bet we don't see a drop.
I'm not taking a rain jacket or an umbrella, so I don't plan on standing in the rain.
Are you taking your umbrella?
I am not. No, I don't think we're going to see a raindrop.
Okay.
It never rained on me in L.A. Ever, and I'm serious about that. I've been multiple times.
You want to go a steak that we see it's some moisture from the air at some point.
No, he's the one saying that. I think we'll see some Saturday.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be the only day.
Yeah.
Never in my life has it rained on me in L.A.
The show is brought to you by a couple of great folks, including our friends at Odie's. Tell us about the question last night.
Last night was the question, what came first, Walmart or Martha Stewart? Walmart or Martha Stewart?
Okay, here's the question. When we say Walmart, are we talking about that first store up in Bentonville?
Yeah, when the Walton brothers got together and they actually kicked out, it was a Walmart.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the very first that Walmart is actually older than Martha Stewart.
I'm going to go Martha Stewart older because I think, Walmart was named something else when it was just like the general store.
Well, that's what I was going with. That
yeah,
first
but he
store
said
in
the first
Bentonville.
Walmart brothers got together, so I'm going to go Martha Stewart older.
Okay.
Martha Stewart, 1941. Walmart, 1962. Not even close.
See, but now Sam Walton probably had one that was before that was not called Walmart. That's going to be your trick right there.
That Bentonville store felt like it was in the 30s.
Yeah.
So one of the small things you learn when you're out at Odie's Team Trivia every single Wednesday night, we do it from the Crestline location. I got a bowl of the chili last night. I had a corn dog. Maddie got the chicken salad plate, which had a pasta salad. The pasta salad had that smoky cheddar in it.
Oh, yeah.
Just fantastic food from Rodney Davis over 30 years. Now ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. 2 locations. The one we were at last night in Crestline, the original there, and now in Homewood, the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get in and see Will Everett and that great staff at Odie's Tavern.
And our friends at Coca-Cola and Piggly Wiggly want to say thank you for supporting the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama again this holiday season. Many of you went by Piggly Wiggly and made your donations. You can still support the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama through our friends at Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola. Remember, the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama, they provide pre-packaged holiday meals through that food bank there. They need your support year-round, but especially during the holiday season. You can look to make your donation through our friends at Piggly Wiggly by visiting thepigbham.com, thepigbham.com, or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of this season with our friends at Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide pre-packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to The Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. nextround.store. That's nextround.store. This holiday season, give yourself the gift of peace of mind with a credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Why risk shopping with cash when you can enjoy the safety and convenience of shopping with their contactless credit card? With a Legacy credit card, you can enjoy incredible perks like rates as low as 8.9% APR, no annual fees, and no balance transfer fees. But that's not all. Earn fantastic rewards for travel and merchandise through Scoreboard Rewards. Apply online today at LegacyCreditUnion.com to make your holiday shopping not just safer, but smarter. APR annual percentage rate. Certain restrictions may apply. Subject to approval. Federally insured by the NCUA. It's time to start thinking about employee holiday gifts. Consider getting your hardworking guys a pair of Red Wing boots. Each day, your employees are on the job site helping your company succeed, so reward them with comfort at its best. The Red Wing mobile shoe truck can visit your shop and fit your employees with a great selection of boots. Or Red Wing gift cards can be purchased at your local Red Wing store, available in all amounts. Whichever program you choose, your employees will appreciate the quality, service, and selection from Red Wing shoes, and they'll also be thankful they have such a great boss. Reward your employees this holiday season with Red Wing shoes. Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
LT's about to tell us about Dr. B, but I'll give you a scoreboard update. They're playing the Fenway Bowl, and as always, it's raining for the Fenway Bowl, and a morning kick in Boston where it's not a packed house. I'll just put it that way. Boston College leads SMU 3-0. That's 6-6 BC leading 11-2 SMU. BC and SMU will be in the same conference starting next year.
Big ACC matchup right here.
Yeah. Coming off a 2-1 yesterday, we've got BC early, plus the 10.5, 11, wherever you're shopping it, hopefully at mybookie.ag.
It was 11 at MyBookie when I played it in a parlay earlier. Bobby says the gambling alert there, the live line in this game is -5.5 right now from Bobby in the chat room. So that means that's the final score. It's not 5.5 from this point on, right?
Yeah,
It's the
that's
final score, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But how bad was that weather for that Tulane game yesterday in Baltimore, the Armed Forces Bowl? I mean, so apparently the East Coast weather sucks for bowl games is what I'm learning.
But if you like SMU, if somehow BC was able to get it in here and they're driving, they do have a big third nine coming up, you probably could get SMU at a picket for the game if BC was to take a 10-point lead.
Yeah, keep an eye on those live lines, something you can do at MyBookie. LT's hair is alive and well as well right now. It's the favorite to win California.
Yeah, look, I wish I would have known a little bit earlier that I was thinning out than I did, but thank goodness that we found Dr. Beckenstein, because he has more than doubled the thickness of my hair since I went to see him about a year and a half ago. T3hair.net for more information. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. Beckenstein for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B today, 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
Interesting story at ESPN.com today about Kirby Smart. Now, it is weird to be talking about the best teams in college football this year and not having a Georgia conversation right now, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
I mean, the only conversation with Georgia is how bad Florida State could be in this game because of the opt-outs. That's the only reason Georgia even comes up is that we're talking so much about Florida State.
It's really sad. You win 29 consecutive games, you win back-to-back national champions, and we know they're one of the 4 best teams in college football. And I think if they were in this, even with Alabama, I think they probably win it. I think if Alabama matched up again with Georgia,
it'd be hard to beat them twice.
It would be so difficult to beat them twice. So I would put them they would definitely be the betting favorite.
Now, if you could get it moved to Atlanta, I'd take Bama.
Yes,
because Georgia ain't beating them in Atlanta.
But other than that, so here you go. It's Georgia not in the playoffs, but they're still one of the best teams in football if everybody was dressed and playing and all that. But the story today at ESPN.com is about their coach, Kirby Smart, about how he was as a player. And you were reading this, LT, and you found it to be really interesting on some of the comments about Kirby as a player.
Well, his players weren't born when he was playing at Georgia, which ages Kirby a little bit, 47 years old. But, in his junior year, he led the SEC with 6 picks. He's still in the top 10 all-time Georgia interception leaders with 11. And a lot of his players are like, there is no way this dude. And here's just some quotes for some former Georgia players that played with him, against him, some of his teammates, and some of the current players. But Richard Seymour, one of the greatest ever play at Georgia. His quote, first of all, what I'd say is, and this is no slight to anyone, you don't see a lot of white defensive backs, right? I mean, it just stood out when he was playing.
Yeah. There's no doubt it did. Can I tell a quick story on that? I want to interrupt you. But I have Josh Pate was the one. I think he told the story on the air. But when Kirby was finishing up, Josh Pate was still playing at Auburn, and it was after an Auburn-Georgia game, after a deep South oldest rivalry. Kirby found Josh Pate on the field and said, "Hey, play hard. There aren't many of us left."
Rob Pate.
Rob Pate. I'm sorry. Did I say Josh Pate? My bad. Rob Pate. Rob Pate, the former Auburn defensive back, Kirby found him and said, "Hey, play hard. There aren't many of us left."
Corey Johnson, Georgia defensive back from 93 to 96. Quote, he didn't have any muscle tone or anything like that. You would be like, man, is there somebody else at your high school that we really want? Or is your dad a coach and somebody owes him a favor? Like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Glenn Ford, another defensive back. I used to cut his hair. I was pretty good with him.
Wow.
He stuck to that same haircut, though.
Yep.
He must have liked it.
Matt Stinchcomb said his hair was actually a lot better in college. He let it poof out. I don't really have enough hair to comment. He said he was a heady player, tough over the middle, good route runner, lunch pail guy. He's a white guy, so you wouldn't think he's as fast as he was, but he was faster than people anticipated.
I don't remember Kirby being that fast.
He was a crap talker, though, too,
Oh,
right?
yeah. They said he ran his mouth nonstop.
Hadn't changed, has he?
Nope.
But he said, Joe Kynes, former defensive coordinator. Everybody knows who Joe Kynes is. When he talked, his teammates listened.
Coach on the field. Couldn't get him out of the film room. Gym rat.
It is amazing when you look at Kirby that he was that good of an athlete, and he was a defensive back that led the SEC in interceptions in a season.
That is hard to believe.
Never got a shot, really, in the NFL, though, right?
No.
He did as a coach.
Yeah, he did. He did. All right, that's a little Kirby Smart. You can read the entire story at ESPN.com today. It is time for our Four Downs, brought to you by our wonderful folks at Slice. I introduced 3 new friends to Slice just this past weekend. If you've got friends who have never been, maybe family in town, it's the best pizza we have in town. We always say take out-of-towners there and let them know just how awesome our pizza is here through our friends at Slice.
Yeah, 4 locations for you. The original in Lakeview, one of Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park. Local pizza, local ingredients. Get in, go see the Bajaga Brothers. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you.
First down.
People were asking during the interview if Slice had a pizza called the Hook Slice. You think it would sell?
Oh, the Hook Slice.
That's what
you put on it?
Well, I would. Here's my thing. You got to know what a Hook Slice is.
I put everything.
I put everything because it's like a tornado. It just throws everything on there.
So in no order.
No order. Yes. The Hook Slice is everything we got.
So bigger surprise this year, Texas A&M or Missouri?
So Texas A&M bad or Missouri good? I'm going to say Missouri. I don't. Maybe some of you out there were thinking that they were going to be in the top 10 playoff-like team. Played Georgia really tough. Maybe some of you thought they were going to be that. I wasn't. So they surprised me more than Texas A&M disappointed me.
Man, I don't know. This is tough, Brown, because if you would have told me this seemed to be the year that I thought A&M was going to be able to break through. All of this talent over the last 3 recruiting classes, and they're 7-6, and you fire your head coach in the middle of the season. Missouri's been a great story, but I'm baffled by both. I mean, good for Eli Drinkwitz, good for Missouri fans, but I just can't understand what happened in College Station.
Oh, boy, I think I would go the bigger surprise being Missouri. I mean, if we were talking about Eli Drinkwitz maybe getting fired to start the year, wasn't there speculation Luther Burden was going to transfer in the offseason, all of that going on? And if you had told me, hey, they're going to be playing Ohio State, if all you had told me is Missouri, Ohio State in a bowl game, I would have probably thought, God, what a crappy year for Ohio State. Where are they playing Missouri?
Luther Burden's $1 million receiver.
Yeah.
But I would assume that Missouri said, and he's an East St. Louis kid, hey, well, whatever, we're going to match it.
Yeah, I will tell you they're doing well in the portal right now. They picked up a couple of good parts from other SEC teams. They didn't recruit too bad either. I think Eli Drinkwitz is surprising some people with what he's building there in Missouri. Surprised me anyway.
I'll go Eli and Missouri.
Yep. Second down.
What's worse, bad driver or backseat driver?
Well, bad driver is worse because at that point you can be injured and injure other people. Backseat driver is annoying. And I am a backseat driver.
Yeah, you are.
Side seat driver.
Yeah, side seat.
Would you rather be driving a backseat driver or riding with a bad driver?
I'd rather be driving a backseat driver because I'm in control of keeping us safe at that point.
I have been told by almost everyone on the show I'm a bad driver. So
I think you're an aggressive driver. I don't want to call you a bad driver.
Okay. Jim?
I would agree with that. You're not a bad driver because you've never wrecked us.
He is a backseat driver for sure.
That is accurate, yes.
Yeah. But I'm a backseat show
everything.
Person,
You're a second guesser.
Backseat luncher, everything.
Yeah, I would say, Jim, the backseat driving doesn't bother me with Jim. It's the overreaction to things as a passenger that bothers me.
When
with
he squeals.
Jim. Yes. Oh, God, Jim.
Sometimes I'm not sure you're paying attention.
I'm always am.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, I keep an eye on your eyes, and when you're looking at your phone, I'm like.
Yeah, I do that when nothing's around us. Nothing.
Third down.
Again, I always tell you, you got a car too.
Denzel Washington, 69 years old today. Hard to believe Gladiator 2 will be coming out next year. Denzel will be the lead, and he will be 70 years old.
Oh, wow.
But if I asked you, better Denzel movie, Training Day or Man on Fire?
I've never seen Training Day. I'll go Man on Fire.
See, I would go Training Day. I think both are incredible.
Man on Fire is one of my favorites.
I just thought his performance in Training Day was his best. As good as Creasy Bear was, I just think Training Day, based on a true story, semi-true story.
Training Day, he's...
I've seen it more than Man on Fire. I've probably seen Training Day 15 times, probably Man on Fire 10. Training Day is when he's a corrupt
Navy
cop.
SEAL?
No.
I haven't seen Training Day. I've seen Man on Fire, so I go Man on Fire. Everyone's saying Training Day.
What's your favorite scene for Man on Fire?
Probably when he gets the first corrupt cop and has him taped to the steering wheel, cutting digit off by digit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I like it when he's got the big fat guy taped to the trunk and he's got the thing
The
up his
C2
butt.
up his ass.
We got 1 minute. We got 1 minute. No, you don't. No.
Oh, I like when he goes to see the butcher at the nightclub too.
What's the convenience store?
Taps him twice in the chest and
Raw movie.
Oh, okay. Of course you had the Raw movie.
I think Michael Douglas is mad and he walks into the convenience store.
That's falling down.
On the flight tonight to Vegas, I would highly recommend you guys downloading Training Day and watching it. It's fantastic.
I'll try another episode of Call Her Daddy I got to watch.
Of course.
Oh, no.
Fourth down.
When he takes that shotgun and blows that guy's hand off, that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah. Stan Lee would have been 101 years old. Poll question, better career, Stan Lee or Nick Saban?
I don't really know what Stan Lee did, so I'm going to go Nick Saban.
He was in the Marvel universe.
Well, he was basically the main creator of the Marvel universe.
So Marvel is who all? Give me who Marvel
Look
is.
at Lunsford.
Are we up? What did he say, Stan Lee?
I mean, he created Lunsford. You can come on here. The characters,
Spider-Man, the X-Men, everything that you see in the movies.
Superman?
Now. No, that was DC.
Batman?
That was also DC.
Well, this argument's over, Lunsford. Did Stan Lee create Nick Saban?
He could have.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, you guys are judging things that cannot be compared.
Yeah.
One is the greatest of one thing, and the other is the greatest of another thing.
I mean, but don't we do this every 4 downs?
Yeah, but
I think the impact,
no answer.
The impact, the worldwide impact of Stan Lee is much bigger.
Yeah, infinitely higher than Nick Saban.
But it feels like Stan Lee created the discount superheroes to me.
No.
He created Spider-Man.
Please move on.
But Spider-Man, you guys can't tell me Spider-Man is in the same stratosphere as both Batman or Superman.
Spider-Man right now is the biggest superhero.
Okay.
Period.
There's no way.
Right now. I'm not saying all the time.
I will say this for Saban. He is self-made. Spider-Man was bitten by some lab spider.
Okay, give me
powers.
his top 3 superheroes. Let's give me his top 3. Spider-Man and who else?
I don't know. I gotta go see all the ones he actually made.
No, I mean, I think the Hulk, right?
I mean,
I think Iron Man.
Pretty much anything Marvel, he's probably had his hands in.
I feel like the DC ones are the higher level ones to me. I don't watch a lot of these
Batman
movies.
and Superman in general are bigger than anything Marvel individually.
But
DC movies are terrible.
Marvel is first. Every DC movie has been terrible, minus the new Batman with Robert Pattinson and the new Joker. But overall, Batman has been bigger. Overall, Superman has been bigger. However, Marvel, especially since Disney bought it, is infinitely bigger than DC is.
Which one is Aquaman?
That is DC.
DC.
That's about to come out. I saw that during the Dolphins game.
That looks
awful. Oh, it did look awful. I saw it during the Dolphins game. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man.
And that is our 4 downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, again, get into one of those 4 locations today. Don't forget about that carry-out special, $75. You get 12 of the fire-baked wings, 2 of the specialty pizzas, a pan of the salad. It's all $75, 7 days a week. Get in and see the Vajaya Brothers, 4 locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Which one is Captain America?
He is Marvel.
Okay.
Okay, before Lance tells us about Harbin's, let me remind you that Way to Wellness has a great opportunity for you right now with no contracts, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free. It's an opportunity for you to find out what Way to Wellness does without getting any out-of-pocket money at all. Talk to Leslie and her board-certified team by going to their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. There you'll find out that there's no cookie-cutter plan. Every plan is designed specifically for you, the individual. So many Next Round viewers have been by to see her. Every time I'm in there, she thanks you guys for coming by and seeing her in 2023 and looking forward to helping out even more of you in 2024. Weight loss, maybe blood pressure, cholesterol getting in line, all can start with the right way of eating. You'll learn all that with our friends at Way to Wellness. The website, again, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. LT, tell us about Harbin's Outdoors.
Harbin's Outdoors, award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping, hardscaping. Jeremy and his team, one-stop shop for all of your pool construction needs. Harbin's does it all, from the install to the lighting, final hardscapes around the pool, everything in between. You see it right there. Scotty's got it up. If you're watching us, you can also find them on Instagram at Harbin's_outdoors. See it for yourself or call or text Jeremy directly. 205-300-0718. At Harbin's, you and your home are the center of all that they do. Call them today for all of your landscaping needs.
Subscribe and set alerts at Disrupt the Media on YouTube.
Are you ready to make this holiday season one to remember? Legacy Credit Union is here to make your dreams come true with their lifestyle loans. Whether you need a little extra cash for gifts or you want to take that unforgettable holiday vacation, Legacy has the right loan for you. With affordable monthly payments, flexible terms, and absolutely no collateral required, Legacy Credit Union is your trusted partner for your stress-free holiday season. Apply in minutes. Go to LegacyCreditUnion.com to get the financial support you need to enjoy the holidays to the fullest. Again, LegacyCreditUnion.com.
Some restrictions apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA. There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got two great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Southern Rubber Tire is the choice for tires and service in downtown Birmingham. Bryant and the guys can handle any of your automotive needs and carry all major tire brands. From brakes to alignments to oil changes and more, no job too big or too small. Southern Rubber and Tire, conveniently located on 6th Avenue North near I-65. You can check them out online today. Go to southernrubbertire.com. Let them know you heard it from the Next Round. Before you get on the road in 2024, head into Southern Rubber Tire.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
This hour brought to you by Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear, the perfect place for all your holiday shopping. We are easy to find just off of I-65, exit 304 in Coleman. Just look for the big red building.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbeham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
Back with you on the Next Round. Our friends from HydroLive are in.
Yes, HydroLive therapy, IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy. It's all under one roof. They're open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Two great locations here in Birmingham. But if you can't make it to HydroLive, guess what? A nurse can make it to you. We've got Nurse Lacey in studio.
She's the best.
Again. She is. We're getting IV bags. We're doing immune bag.
Yeah, it's the Healthy Horse.
The healthy horse.
Dunaway.
Do it.
Nay, I say.
No, I thought it was good and nice of HydroLife Therapy to come in today. Not only will we be hydrated, we can battle for the immune system. We're traveling. Bunch
right.
of people coughing, sickos on the plane, and they know they're sick. They're still traveling around.
Yep.
So let's try to stay healthy with our friends at HydroLife. Mention Next Round at checkout. 20% off any of their great services. Again, if you can't make it out, nurse can actually come to you. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at HydroLife Therapy, hydrolifetherapy.com for more information.
What's the name of the bag? Dirty Horse? What is it?
Healthy horse.
Healthy horse. Dirty horse. You dirty horseshoe. Hey, can I ask a quick? This does not have to turn into a discussion. This is a genuine question, and Jim is not going to like it.
No.
This does not have to be a discussion. I just need a yes or no. So you're telling me Spider-Man and Superman have never fought together?
There's probably been some crossover.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
They met
okay,
up, but
all right, that's all I needed to know.
regularly.
Okay, I was just a genuine. I thought of that going to the bathroom.
I mean, if you don't have any kryptonite, you can't fight Superman.
Well,
right?
I just they fought together. Like I didn't know if there was any crossover in this whole deal. I mean, we don't
have an answer.
Yes, there's a Spider-Man and Superman comic book.
Oh, okay. That's all I was asking. Okay, we can move on.
Yeah.
I was just a
But
genuine
how was
question.
that part? How was that possible when one was DC and one was Marvel?
Well,
was it a combination? Money grab?
Brown, I was trying to be easy and just answer your question.
No, it's okay. We can talk about this after the show.
About this all day if you want to.
No, I'm good on that.
It was a money grab is what it was, just like in everything else.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, the show being brought to you, other than our friends at HydroLife, also by our friends at Redmond Vodka. It'd be really great if that was in the bag.
I don't know. That might kill you.
It could.
Yeah, the only people
Straight
I
to the
ever heard
bloodstream.
of doing the streamline like that was Motley Crue. Our friend Ashley would probably know, but there were reports they would put bourbon in a syringe and just inject it straight. That'll get you where you're going fast. But Redmond Vodka, look, if you are celebrating the new year, you're heading over to a New Year's Eve party, take a bottle of Redmond Vodka. It's gluten-free. It's 8 times distilled. It's locally owned and operated. Available in 22 states, including California. If you're heading out to the Rose Bowl, ask for it by name. It is Redmond Vodka.
Cut 3 for me, Tyler, here. Brownie's got something going on where he's doing a video diary with Jihad Campbell all the way through the college football playoffs. He did the first one last night on the road to the Rose Bowl. Here's Jihad Campbell on Michigan's offense.
As you've watched film on this Michigan offense, what do you see? What do you see out of the Wolverines?
I mean, they just like to run the ball a lot. They like to do a lot of disguise and stuff like that. But I'm faithful in me and my teammates. that we can stop all that stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, do you kind of like that though? A team that's like, hey, we're gonna line up, try to be physical. I mean, that's a challenge.
I mean, I feel like we're a fearful and competitive defense. That's up for a challenge for anything. And I feel like we will break anybody's will. That's just how I feel.
I thought that was an interesting end to that answer. We'll break anybody's will, and that has been a hallmark of a Nick Saban team. Is he's famous for the line, and I believe this came, and I'm not saying it's the first time he said it. I think this is when the public found out about it. Was his first visit to Tiger Stadium. There were cameras in the locker room. I think just doing a video for Alabama, and his famous quote from that locker room, and this is all the way back in 2008: "Dominate the man across from you every play and make his ass quit." That was Nick Saban's famous quote, and I remember T-shirts coming about that either said MHAQ, whatever, or make his ass quit, whatever the acronym is. But I mean, that has been a Nick Saban hallmark, right? Is you try to make that guy across from you regret playing the type of game he's chosen to play. You make him quit. You make him say, I cannot do our game plan because Alabama's forced me from doing it. Nick Saban's great teams have been able to do that more often than not. Far more often than not.
I would love to.
But the teams that have bothered them have not played in an elevator, a phone booth.
That is correct.
Like Michigan's going to try to do. The teams that beat them have spread Alabama out and spaced them out.
This feels a little bit like those really good LSU teams that tried to out-Alabama.
Leonard Fournette and all those
guys.
That's
right, and it never worked. Now, I think this Michigan team is a little bit better than those LSU teams. I would say that, but it feels like the style of play that Alabama used to beg you to play.
I just wonder. We've heard stories in the past, Alabama getting ready for some of these championship games, and against LSU one year, against Notre Dame in 12, that the Alabama staff basically was looking on film, and they didn't want to give it away to their players, but they were like, I mean, this is a damn mismatch. If we don't shit the bed, we're going to win this game going away. And you just wonder, internally what that staff sees with Michigan.
Yeah, I'd like to
love
know.
to hear that.
Yeah. I'd like to know because you mentioned that Notre Dame game. And Barry Jones has told us this story before. Their first trip through film, everybody that knew anything was like, oh my gosh, this team can't stay on the field with us. I mean, that was like their first watch of film. It wasn't like they broke it down and they found weaknesses. They watched it through one time, and they were like, this team can't stay. If we play our game, this will be a bloodbath. And guess what?
It was.
It was.
It was. Hey, yesterday, here's what Alabama did. Alabama and a few players, they went to Disneyland out in L.A. It was part of the welcome ceremony. The Michigan folks were there, but all the pomp and circumstance around the Rose Bowl, there's Nick Saban and Terry and family members there as they got to ride in on carriages, and some of the players, including Jay Mill, right there as they made their way down Main Street there in Disney and had a chance to go there and represent Alabama. The Michigan folks were there as well, as you would imagine. Jim Harbaugh, hat or not? Hat or not?
100% hat. Always
got
hat.
a hat in.
I can't think of him without it. It looks like he's riding that horse. I know he was in the carriage, but for that one shot, it looks like he was horseback.
Amber vision glasses and hat nonstop.
That's right.
Yeah. So that was yesterday at Disneyland. Everybody's practicing. Alabama was in full pads again yesterday. Caleb Downs picked up the freshman of the year, the Sean Alexander Award from the folks that hand out the Maxwell. So a big year for Caleb Downs.
By the way, I thought he was better than advertised.
Luganbill, he came up, I believe, on ball with Luganbill, and Luganbill said, talking to coaches throughout the SEC and just his opinion, he's the best freshman Alabama has had since Mika Fitzpatrick.
Well, I was about to say that Mika Fitzpatrick is kind of that trajectory he seems to be on.
Yeah.
But, when we heard guys first talk about him, I remember Aaron Suttles, like, you got to watch out for this guy. He's played better than I thought he would.
100% he has. I think Caleb Downs, this secondary is about as good as Alabama's had in quite a while. When you consider the two corners they've got that were both All-Americans.
Multiple, three safeties that are really good.
Yeah, and you got and when you're having to have guys limp off to bring on Trey Amos, the way that guy can play, you got a good secondary, man. When it takes a guy having to be helped off the field for Amos to get on the field consistently, that's a heck of a secondary.
Cut number 4, Tyler. Michigan's DB. Help me with the last name here. Mike Sanristil.
Sanristil.
Yeah, there we go. Sanristil.
That's the guy that a lot of people say if they can keep him on the field in formations, it'll give Alabama trouble.
So he's the guy.
He's the guy that if Alabama doesn't...
Don't throw his way.
If Alabama can't somehow scheme him out of plays, that this is a guy that could give Jalen Milroe and Alabama trouble.
Well, he thinks this is going to be a game for the ages in Pasadena.
There's no bigger opportunity, no bigger stage, especially to go against a team like Alabama. We're two iconic football programs, two programs with a lot of history, football history, two great legendary coaches. And then you look at the teams, we match up very well against each other, offensively, defensively, special teams wise. And I'm instantly saying this is going to be an instant classic, classic match.
We for a while overused that phrase, instant classic, right?
I agree. I don't know if it's going to be a classic, but I think it's going to be an extremely tight game. I just don't understand how people think. Nobody thinks Michigan's going to win going away. That would shock me. If Alabama won going away, it's not going to shock me, but I would be surprised.
Instant classic. It was overused for a brief period back when we used to have ESPN Classic channel, right? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, ESPN Classic invented that term, instant classic.
Instant classic.
And then we love to put it on everything.
And then we put it on everything. That was an instant classic.
Yeah, but I remember watching Duke and North Carolina when Eric Montross had blood streaming down his face. And I think I was out. I guess you guys talked about the passing of Montross, but those were the kind of games that I remember.
Yeah.
Instant classic.
Yeah.
Texas USC on this field that we're going to was an instant classic.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, but to me, it takes a lot to be an instant classic, right?
Well, the comparison you just made, Texas USC, is regarded by many as the best game we've ever seen.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a pretty high bar.
To me, I don't even put great endings as an instant classic, like Cal and Stanford. That band is on the field.
I have no idea what happened the first.
That's right.
59
Nobody does.
Plus.
Not an instant classic.
I think they were playing for bowl eligibility too, so that hurts it a little bit.
But the kick six, for instance, that was a back and forth game. It was back and forth. A lot of nuance to that game, not just the great ending. That was an instant classic. Georgia Alabama national championship, the 4th and 28, is that what it was?
Second and 26.
Second and
that was an instant classic.
Yeah. I think Alabama-Tennessee last year in Neyland was an instant classic.
Yeah. Those are instant classics because there's so much nuance throughout the whole game, not just a great ending.
Yeah, and it's specifically the second half of that Alabama-Georgia game. I mean, when you go to Tua, just the storyline there.
That's right.
And the way he came in and played. I mean, I would say those are instant classics.
And I don't know. You got a missed field goal, you go to overtime, and then you have the sack. I mean, there were just so many turns and twists that made it an instant classic.
Yeah, I have no idea, man. I don't know if that's what we're going to get at this. I personally don't think so. I think Alabama wins this game by double digits, which it's going to be hard to be an instant classic in that situation.
4th and 31, great ending. Not an instant classic.
Yeah, both teams had some sloppy play in that game, yeah. And one team wasn't very good. I mean, to me, you need two good teams generally to be an instant classic. But I think Alabama wins this game by double digits. So I don't think you're going to get an instant. I think Mike Sanders still was wrong in this.
One more hour to go. Our friends are Hydrolive are here. We'll tell you more about them coming up. Also, the show being brought to you by the great folks with New York Butcher Shop. Tell us about New York Butcher, LT. A great place to swing by there and get all the meats for this holiday season.
Yeah, look, if you've got a group coming over, do a little New Year's Eve, celebrate with an incredible steak from our friends at the New York Butcher Shop. Get in, see Jim and that incredible staff. They've got the finest and certified Angus prime beef steaks, burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, all natural chicken cut to order just for you. Chef prepared entrees, side dishes, ready, a perfect dinner to go choice for your family. They're ready to heat at home. Great selection of fine wines and desserts. New York Butcher Shop, one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations, Caba Heights, Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service, New York Butcher Shop.
Bob, I agree. 15 and 16, Bama and Clemson national championship games were instant classics. Both of those were great endings and instant classics there. The show also being brought to you in this hour as we hit 11 o'clock by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling wants to say thank you guys for a wonderful 2023. He looks forward to serving all of you in 2024 as well. The best Southern fried chicken. It's brined overnight, cooked to order when you come in, so it comes out piping hot. I'm a big 2-breast guy, all the wonderful sides there. Hand-cut chicken fingers, those Mississippi Delta tamales, I just love them. It's the only place in the world I like the tamales. It's right there. It is our fine friends at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Stop unwanted guests. Save $50 from our friends at Wayne's right now. Call 866-WAYNES-1 this holiday season. Give the gift of peace and security to your home and family with a $50 off recurring Wayne's Pest Control services. Keep your celebrations joyful and free of unwanted critters this holiday and beyond. At Wayne's Pest Control, we don't just promise short-term fixes. We promise year-round protection for your home, keeping your family, children, and pets safe. Again, call 866-WAYNES-1 today. That's 866-WAYNES-1. Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears, because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever? Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
This hour brought to you by Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear, the perfect place for all your holiday shopping. We are easy to find just off of I-65, exit 304 in Coleman. Just look for the big red building.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of peace of mind with a credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Why risk shopping with cash when you can enjoy the safety and convenience of shopping with their contactless credit card? With a Legacy credit card, you can enjoy incredible perks like rates as low as 8.9% APR, no annual fees, and no balance transfer fees. But that's not all. Earn fantastic rewards for travel and merchandise through Scoreboard Rewards. Apply online today at LegacyCreditUnion.com to make your holiday shopping not just safer, but smarter. ADR annual percentage rate. Certain restrictions may apply. Subject to approval. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Southern Rubber Tire, your choice for tires and service in downtown Birmingham. Bryant and the guys can handle any of your automotive needs. They carry all major tire brands. Southern Rubber, conveniently located 6th Avenue North near I-65. Check them out online, southernrubbertire.com, and let them know you heard it on the Next Round.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
College football this hour, and then we come to you from Las Vegas tomorrow, and we'll be out at Resort World, one of my favorite places in Vegas. I fell in love with that because it's off the Strip, which means they were able to build a bigger, larger casino. It is the best casino, in my opinion, in Las Vegas because it is modern, it is spacious, it is bright, it is got all the games you want to play and room to do it. It's just a great setup at a Resort World, and we'll be where?
At the Doghouse Saloon and Sports Bar, or Sports Book. Can't wait to get out there. I've actually been a couple of times, like you, to Resort World. Richard Holland, our good buddy, Kicking It Coolers, shout out, the Capri Sun for adults. He is the guy that has got us wired up here. And hopefully, if there are Alabama fans, I remember the last couple of times we have been out, Auburn and both Alabama fans have stayed, or some of them have stayed out in the desert in Vegas and then made the commute in. So if you are going out there, please come by and see us broadcast live. It's going to be early, but you're on vacation.
That's all right.
There's going to be football to bet on, so come on out.
7 to 10. We'll be doing some other stuff while we're in Vegas on both legs, and, of course, throughout our time in Pasadena, Malibu, Sherwood Forest,
Sherman Oaks. We're not going to see Robin Hood.
All those places. We're going to be out of the Los Angeles area. We fly out today. This hour of the show being brought to you in part, Brownie, before you give us your point, by our friends right there at Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. Got to have a good roof over your head in 2024. When's the last time you had it checked? Use our man Greg from Pell City. He'll give you a free no-cost roof inspection. 205-542-3531. Go ahead and get on his list and head out there and let him get on your roof. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau and the best warranties in the business. He and his wife own the company, so give him a call. He's local. He's not going anywhere. He's a guy you can trust. 205-542-3531 or Greg from Pell City on Facebook at Storm Restoration Roofing.
As we are live here, the SMU Boston College game is going on at the Fenway Bowl. The sponsor for this bowl is who?
Wasabi.
And what do you think their product is?
Their product is going to be it is actually, I think I know this. I think it is some kind of investment, isn't it?
No. Lance, what do you think wasabi is?
Wasabi is...
I eat the almonds. I eat wasabi-flavored almonds.
Haven't you always assumed
It's the hot green stuff on the side of your sushi.
Haven't you always assumed that, like, do you remember when the California Raisins had a bowl game?
Right.
And there's another food like the potato bowl, the Idaho potato bowl. Haven't you always assumed that this is just the wasabi industry? The sushi industry that's advertising this game?
Yeah, this has got to be some kind of automotive
Internet cloud storage.
Oh, how about that? Wasabi.
What a name for a company, though, because like this game's been going on for a number of years, and it's only today. I am years old when I realized it was an internet storage company and not just the actual wasabi product.
I had seen somewhere that it was not wasabi, like I know wasabi, but I thought it was like financial investments or something.
I used to always think, though, man, like, I don't even know where I could buy wasabi. I just get it on the side of my sushi and dip a little bit of it on there.
Like, I think avocados from Mexico spends a lot of money.
I know.
I just buy avocados. I don't know where they come from.
They could be from Illinois for all I care if they're good.
It's whoever at my shopping center, Publix in most of my cases, wherever they roll out the avocados from are the ones I'm buying. I don't buy them directly from this country.
Yeah. I mean, do you like, is this one from Mexico? Ooh, God, no. That's a California avocado. Not buying that.
Keith is asking if you're getting another tattoo in Vegas.
I'm not. No. I do have one in mind, but it's not going to happen in Vegas. Got to get it planned out, and I will do it local. I'll keep my tattoo money in Alabama. I'll shop local.
You've got a plan. You haven't told us about
Jimmy
this.
Gateway, what is it going to be? Can you tell us?
I did. I thought I did a video. Taylor shot a video. Did she not put it out?
I have no idea. I don't see all our videos.
Well, I can't draw it for you right now. Maybe on the plane.
Well, I mean, just give us a theme.
Is it Taylor Swift related?
No, I've actually designed it myself. It is a heartbeat, one heartbeat,
right,
and a long plane that is also a mountain range. The heartbeat is, and then it's the journey that I've been on in my life. You've got a setting sun, that the sunbeams form a heart, so it's both spiritual and earthly on my journey there, and it's going to go right above long live.
So what are you going to do if you flatline out right when you get that?
Yeah, I mean, the flatline's the end of your life.
Yeah, but I'm saying this could be it, though.
It flatlines out.
Well, where are you on this journey? Are you in the mountains?
It's my final heartbeat. No, I'm till the end of time. I'm chasing my religious, spiritual, and earthly best.
So this is going to be representative of your final heartbeat?
My final heartbeat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was representative of your entire life.
Hey, to each their own, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler's got a
there it is.
cartoon on his leg.
Yeah, Lunsford nailed it.
Yeah,
well, why don't you let him do it?
To the right of the mountain.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's actually really cool. I just thought you meant that was indicative of your entire life. It's representative of your final heartbeat.
But the journey always pursuing until the very end, to the final heartbeat of being better both spiritually and earthly.
Okay.
Will you put a script A instead of the mountain?
Some people could see that.
It's got a point on it.
All right, back to college football we go, brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Give me number 5 and 6. Steve Sarkisian, the other game that's not getting as much talked about here is Texas and Washington. And this game is promising to be a shootout. Texas arrived yesterday in New Orleans, and a day later than everybody else, it seems like. They roll into New Orleans with the Longhorn flag hanging out of the right there in the pilot's crew. And then here comes Sark walking down, and quickly he gets some beads, as you do in New Orleans.
Didn't have to show anything for him.
Did not have to show anything for him. And then he gets the opportunity to talk about this football team. Cut 5 first. It's a big stage. Texas is in the playoffs finally for the first time, and people are asking Sark, is this stage maybe too big for his guys?
I think one thing that's helped us this year, we've played in some pretty tough environments, right? We've had to go on the road, and naturally, playing in Tuscaloosa was helpful for us. Playing in the Big 12 championship game in Arlington was good for us, and to not be too enamored with the outside and what was going on outside, but stay focused on us. We have a simple adage: be enamored with us, and we try to keep our focus internal, and so that when the games come, it's about what we've prepared to go do and not what might be going on around us. And a lot of times when you get into these settings, the world around you is pretty chaotic, right? We talk about all the time as a team, like what's going on around us is very chaotic. We want to make sure that we're a steady sea and that we're focused on what we need to do. We're very calm when the moment comes, regardless of the circumstances, because adversity is going to strike. It's going to strike in this ball game, but us keeping our composure, us keeping our poise is going to be critical to our success.
Now, some people will think, first off, they have lived and eaten off that Alabama win all year long. He has gone back to that many times. When we hear Sark, a lot of times he referenced that trip to Tuscaloosa and what they did there. It was that big of a win for that program.
Well, I mean, without that, they, 2 losses, the other loss to Oklahoma, they're not in this college football playoff. And I think it does solidify them as one of the best 4 teams, because that is arguably the best win this year.
If they had beaten Sam Houston State in that game and they still had the same record, I don't think we'd feel about this Texas team the way we feel about them.
I kind of agree. I mean, that Alabama win went a long way, especially based on what Alabama became.
Right.
But you were there. I remember watching on TV. It was a big celebration. Not just Matthew McConaughey. I'm talking everybody, the players, the coaches. Sark. I mean, they did the interview with him post-game, and it was almost like they'd won a conference or national championship.
Chris Del Conte hugging him on the field.
That was a massive game.
I tell you what it reminded me of was 2019 LSU.
Yeah, I agree completely.
It was a lot of that.
Yeah, I agree completely. That was a massive celebration. Yeah.
Great comparison there.
Well, I mean, it was just that I think everybody doubted Sark at Texas. I know I did. I know Lance did. And when you go beat Nick Saban in Alabama and Tuscaloosa, that speaks volumes. I don't care who you are.
I thought it was interesting, though. Josh Pate said if Texas wants to win a national championship, they need to do it right now. I would say they're coming off an 8-5 last year where the 5 losses were by 7 or less points. Now they win those one-possession games.
He was sort of pointing to a future like Jimbo Fisher post Jameis Winston for some reason.
I just would say we are going to judge coaches by getting to college football playoffs, and it's easier to do now.
Yeah.
And if Texas doesn't get there, it's a major disappointment.
Well, we are going to judge them on getting to the playoffs until after you've gotten to the playoffs. And then if you get to the playoffs and you don't advance in the playoffs, then we're going to look down on your nose.
Jim Harbaugh.
And then it's going to be,
that's right.
Okay, now you advance through one round, but now you don't get buys, or you don't make it to the Final Four, and then eventually you don't win national championships.
Yeah, you eventually become Marv Levy.
That's right. It's fine for Gonzaga to be a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, but they got to go to the Final Four. They got to win it. They got to do this. They got to do that.
Nobody argues that Mark Few's a bad coach. Nobody says that. Everybody knows Mark Few's a good coach. But what has his career been defined by?
Not winning a national championship.
Right. And they had a lot of good teams, and they've never been able to close the deal. And it's unfair to Mark Few because he's done a lot of great work at Gonzaga. Just to turn them into a national power is amazing. But a lot of people judge him based on that.
Cut number 6, Tyler. This is what concerns a lot of people, I think, when they play in this semifinal game. Championship game is not as bad because it's a quick turnaround. And I know you do some prep leading in, but all this prep time for this one semifinal game, and you've got a brilliant mind like Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer on one side and Steve Sarkisian on the other, you almost sometimes have too much time on your hands to where you overthink some things. Here's Sark.
Your staff had a month to prepare for them. Their staff had a month to prepare for you. Yeah. Does that change how you go about things, or do you just try to, how do you deal with that extra time?
Well, it presents a heck of a challenge. Obviously a lot of what we do early on is look at ourselves first. What are our tendencies? What do we need to, where are we giving away too much in any phase, offense, defense, or special teams? 2, knowing that, Washington staff and the staff, Coach DeBoer and his crew, they're great coaches and they do a heck of a job. And so knowing that they've had the same amount of time that we've had, I think is understanding, as you navigate your way through it. But at the end, it all comes back to let's not outsmart ourselves. And let's make sure that we do the things that we do well. And let's make sure that we continue to do those things well as we game plan and put some of the fluff around it.
Yeah, so I want to ask you, do you hear a lot of the things that Nick Saban has said all these years going into this? We focus on ourselves and all that. I'm just wondering how much Sark absorbed.
I mean, different tone. It's hard to take him serious with the beads. It looks like Deuce Bigelow, Rob Snyder.
Does a little bit, yeah.
Is that Rob Snyder and Deuce Bigelow?
Yeah, he almost needed 2 more sets of beads to show I'm in New Orleans. I didn't choose to wear this as a necklace. I'm in New Orleans.
No, look, I think Sark probably did what he needed to do when he was in Tuscaloosa. We talked about the reclamation project that he was. And I think when he got there, and I'm just guessing, he became a sponge. And I think a lot of the coaches that have had success coming out of the Nick Saban tree, I mean, they do things the exact way Nick Saban does them.
You're a great note taker. Like, you've got books that you write things in daily and stuff like that. I wonder if Nick would look across in meetings and Sark would be writing things down in like a personal diary notepad thing to take with, because that's what I would have done if I was ever in that situation. I would have used every day, whether when I got back to my office or when I got off at night, to sort of jot down what I had learned that day, things I'd want to take with me.
Yeah, I think if you're aspiring to be the best in your industry, I think that's the way to do it. I mean, I would assume when Sammy Dunn was coaching Vestavia Hills, whoever those assistant coaches were watching, hey, look, the way he does fungos, the way he's doing infield, everything.
You know who did that? I did, because we would play him a lot, and I would watch him, and I would be like, okay, I see how he does this. I sort of want to do that.
So what happened?
I decided to go into broadcasting instead of coaching. But to your point is, I was watching not only my guy, Billy Woodham, but I would watch things Sammy did, and I was like, I see these guys win. I know how to do it.
Why would you not?
What Jim Harbaugh said yesterday about Jalen Milroe that some of you took the wrong way, in my opinion, after I tell you that our friends at Anheuser-Busch and Adams Beverage want to remind you that drunk driving prevention is a priority to them. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage your friends and your family members to join in the pledge to decide to ride this New Year's season and year-round. DecideToRide.com. DecideToRide.com. This doesn't stop on January 1. You can do this year-round. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Brought to you by our friends at Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Adams Beverage, and the Next Round. So, Brownie, pull up the quote if you can for me about Jim Harbaugh talking about his backup quarterback. Basically, Harbaugh says Jalen Milroe is just a polished version, and I can't say the kid's last name, but it's basically a polished version of their QB2. And everyone went crazy basically Harbaugh is saying that this is Harbaugh saying his QB2 is as good as Jalen Milroe. I took it as a huge compliment that you would compare anybody in your team to somebody on the other team.
Well, you got to have the whole quote.
Right.
For the context to matter here, and I do believe his name is uncomfortably pronounced Orgy. He's like a real polished. Here's the quote from Harbaugh. He's like a real polished Alex Orgy, and if I could call a timeout right there, that almost could be an insult to Alex Orgy. Like if you'd be more polished, you'd be Jalen Milroe,
That's right?
Right? But it is a compliment there. He goes on to say the athletic skill set, the playmaking ability, just the ability to extend plays, make plays is really. The volume of work and how it's progressed is really impressive. So if you stop there, you're like, oh, so he's comparing him to his backup. Well, here's the rest of the quote. We've seen it before our eyes right now with Alex Orgy, and it scares me a little bit that Jalen Milroe would be as athletic as Alex Orgy because Alex is like the most scariest athletic guy on our whole team. So, okay, that's a little scary. So if you take the whole quote, he's saying the most talented athletic guy we've got, he's a more polished version of that.
Right.
I mean, that's a heck of a compliment to me.
So it is a heck of a compliment. Of course, it got played in some X and Twitter circles that it's just the first part. He's basically a polished version of Alex Orgy, who then was noted is Michigan's QB2. And Alabama fans started going Link. Oh, this is more naysayers out there. Put this on a bulletin board. Wait until Jalen Milroe really gets word of this. And I think it was absolutely a compliment from Harbaugh.
Yeah.
In the greatest sense that my guy who I see in practice, who we think is so good, Milroe is better than that.
You could actually read him saying this. Now, you're putting words in his mouth and reading between lines that if Alex Orgy was as polished as Jalen Milroe, he might be our starter.
Well, how's he going to? I don't even think. I think if J.J. McCarthy went down, I don't think Orgy would be the guy.
Oh, you don't think he would?
No, I think it'd be Jack Tuttle. Yeah, because their backup quarterback Orgy would come in. He had specialized packages. He didn't throw a pass this year.
Yeah, but I guess we answered the question: who's playing Jalen Milroe in practice leading into this game?
Yeah, Alex Orgy.
It's Orgy in this situation. All right, we get to trash coming up in the next segment, and we'll do a lot more football and hear from Jalen Milroe in the final segment coming up. And Little T is up in Nashville. Her conversation with Hugh Freeze yesterday is on all of our platforms, and you can also get everything she's doing up in Nashville, just like you do everything we're going to be doing out in Pasadena and Los Angeles and Las Vegas and everywhere else we stop on this journey. Hopefully Houston at some point on all of our video platforms. We just ask you to like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. Our friends at Hemp Hill Services brings you the show today. Great people to keep in mind this holiday season.
Yes, $69 tune-up when you call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. They are going to hook you up today. Hard to stop a train. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. It's hard to stop a train. Hemp Hill Services.
You can't ignore the elephant in the room. Watch it at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Southern Rubber Tire is the choice for tires and service in downtown Birmingham. Bryant and the guys can handle any of your automotive needs and carry all major tire brands. From brakes to alignments to oil changes and more, no job too big or too small. Southern Rubber and Tire, conveniently located on 6th Avenue North near I-65. You can check them out online today. Go to southernrubbertire.com. Let them know you heard it from the Next Round before you get on the road in 2024. Head into Southern Rubber Tire. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-patted each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali. This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
You want to look great while supporting your favorite show? You know the place to go is the official Next Round store at nextround.store. Yes, there are .store domains, and we have one. From shirts to hoodies to hats and all kinds of fun stuff, you can rep the Next Round anywhere you go. At the beach, Next Round hats to block out that sun. Up north in the winter, get you a comfy Next Round hoodie. Just need something to put your $20 beer in at a game? Get you a Next Round koozie and throw that thing in your pocket. You never know what stuff Jim's going to make me put in there next. Check it out. It's the Next Round store at nextround.store.
Back with you on the Next Round. We just pulled off 62 hairs off my arm.
That's all you had left.
Yeah. Our friends at Hydra Live are in here, LT. I beat you on the bag. I got a head start. I tried to go faster, but LT actually went faster than me. I got about a 5-minute head start on him.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, it's all under one roof. If you can't make it to one of the great locations of Hydra Live, guess what? A nurse can actually come to you. Nurse Lacey in studio with us here on the Next Round. Make sure you mention Next Round at checkout. You're going to save 20% off any of their great services. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Hydra Life Therapy, hydralifetherapy.com for more information. And we've got the healthy horse, not the dirty horse, the healthy horse.
That's right.
Getting our immune system right.
I'm going to find a drink in Vegas tonight called the Dirty Horse.
Oh, I bet you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what time we get to Vegas?
Tell everybody our travel plan.
Well, it's going to be a little bit weird today. Just because of us doing the show, we are limited on the flights we could take. I was explaining this to someone the other day as like we have a huge chunk of the middle of the day where we can't fly, and that complicates this thing. It complicates it. I know people don't believe this to the point that we've had to involve a stop in Las Vegas just to make sure we get places we're going on time and our equipment gets places.
I guess we could have done this programming on the fly. We could have flown out that direct flight to Vegas. When we get to Vegas, settled in, we could have done a 3-hour show, right?
Tonight?
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, I guess we could have.
We can do shows anytime.
The flight we got that was the best, the directs obviously happened during our show. So the flight we got that was the least connections and guaranteed we could get there doesn't land until 11 o'clock Vegas time.
Well,
that makes 1 o'clock our time, by the way.
When we come back from L.A. on the 2nd to go to Vegas when we're going to do that Wednesday show, do you have any idea what time we get to Vegas on Tuesday?
Yeah, it's earlier. We'll have some time in Vegas on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you guys want to go see the Cirque du Soleil Love.
I'm probably going to be exhausted, so I'll sleep through it.
It'll be that Tuesday. That'll be the time to do it.
Yeah, would you guys be interested?
I would be interested in that, yes. If you can get us some tickets, let's start working on that. It's a very popular show.
Jeez, our flight's already delayed for tonight.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I just looked.
We're going to end up missing a leg to Vegas.
Well, we got some time to play with in Dallas, thankfully. But
we've got an hour and 20 minutes in Dallas.
That's not a lot.
I mean, that's Hour and 20 minutes. I mean,
how long?
What'd you want for a layover? 3 hours?
No, but I'm saying if we got delayed by an hour, I mean, we're kind of pushing
it's not
it.
delayed by an hour. It's delayed by 20 minutes. But it's already delayed. I'll just point that out.
All right.
Poll flying this day and age.
Poll question, Taylor. Let's throw it out there. Brought to you by
don't do it. Don't
folks at Bud Light.
What? Oh, you're going to ask if we're going to get there on time?
Do we get there at all tonight?
Oh, no.
No?
I mean, I'm just going to tell you the bit. Well, I don't want to even talk about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we'll get there tonight.
Amazing story here.
Or we'll do the show from Dallas.
You ready for your amazing story of the day? Brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Give us Michelson.
205-969-8100, the number that I called more than 2 decades ago. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, took 12 minutes for both eyes. 2015 vision, better than 2020. Call today, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
I don't know if Caleb Hatcher watches or listens to our show. One of our viewers sent the story to me and says he does occasionally. But we want to say congratulations to Caleb and his wife, Kelsey. They made the Today Show and are a lot of discussions around the world, in the medical world. Kelsey has 2 uteruses, and she carried full term 2 babies, not twins. One was born on December 19th and one born on December 20th. 2 different eggs, obviously, and Caleb, the dad there. And everyone's healthy. And it's just an amazing story. I think I saw it was like 0.03% that this can happen. And like doctors are saying it's, more than 1 in a million that it goes. Like twins are traditionally born early, like 37 weeks or earlier. Both these babies went to 39 weeks.
So the husband watches the show? Is that what you said?
According to one of our emails, this person emailed the story. He says occasionally Caleb does watch and listen to our show.
Well, congrats. I doubt he's watching today. Seems like they got their hands full right now. But that's that sounds like a medical miracle to me.
I mean, how do you, like, if you're the siblings, how do you size each other up? I mean, do you introduce as my twin or just...
Roxy was born on Tuesday. Rebel was born on Wednesday.
Look at that.
20 hours of labor for Kelsey there, delivering 2 babies.
Did you say, are they considered twins?
The doctors say, with all the same parents, DNA and everything, technically I don't think they fall into the twins, but they will be called twins, yes.
Yeah.
But they will not be identical, obviously.
But one is a day older, basically.
The one's born on the 19th, one born on the 20th.
How common is it to have 2 uteri or uteruses? I don't know. What's the plural of uterus?
I think uteri is right on,
uteri
Brownie.
the plural?
I think so. And I think I saw the stat was like 0.3%.
First I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of this. This is remarkable. God bless her, man. That's awesome.
So if you were trying to get a scholarship as a twin, you think you could get a loophole in this?
Probably will be well enough to call this twins there. There's Caleb and them. These pictures provided from WVTM 13 and the Today Show from Kelsey's Instagram page.
He looks a little like Rocky, the dad.
A little bit, yeah. He does have some rock star in him.
That is baby child number 4 and 5 for the family.
Oh, that's another twist of the story. I did not know this.
They've already had 3 and 2 there. So congratulations, that wonderful couple over in Dora. What an amazing holiday season for them. And a little bit of... I guess a medical miracle, but a medical rarity. How about that?
Were both of them...
just childbirth is a miracle in itself.
Do you know, were both of them conceived at the same time?
I do not know the answer to that question, Brown.
Because
I could any of my research.
That's a legit question.
Yeah, I could see how, it could be a different conception, right, with 2 separate uteri.
Could be, Brown. It's over my head at this point.
I don't know if it works that way. I guess there's a lot that goes in there, so you got a lot of swimmers.
So they're going to. We need to get this dude on the air.
I would say go back on December 19th, December 20th. Do we have good shows? Maybe Caleb was feeling frisky on his ride home.
No. I mean, it is a bit of a personal question for me to ask him that, but I'm just looking from the scientific point of view.
We only got naked once last December.
Well, then we'll know.
Yeah.
Trash brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. Let's do it, man. Hit the big button there, Tyler. About to get his own IV in there. Look at that, little Tyler.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off?
My balls was hot.
I understand.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Are you a veteran looking for a VA loan? Mortgage Right has been advocating for veterans since their company began. As a veteran-owned, operated company committed to your well-being, they can help you find the best terms available, guide you through every step of the process. As a veteran-owned, operated company, they understand the difference between working with someone who gets it and someone who doesn't. They've made it their mission to qualify or to simplify the VA loan process. You can visit them right there, Highway 280 in Birmingham. You can go online to apply, mortgageright.com/TNR. Call 205-815-9200, NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. 20-year-old Florida woman, Miracle Rivera, was arrested on Christmas Day after allegedly assaulting her 24-year-old boyfriend with a Christmas tree.
That is not a Christmas miracle at all.
It is not. But boy, those needles, man. I mean, you hit somebody in the right spot.
Altercation began in their bedroom, prompting the boyfriend to retreat to the living room couch. Rivera followed, grabbing the Christmas tree, repeatedly striking him. Now,
Pre-lit tree, too.
To the affidavit, while the victim was lying on the couch, the defendant picked up the Christmas tree and began to strike the victim with it repeatedly. The Christmas tree just doesn't seem functional.
I agree.
To like hit somebody with.
Yeah, where are you going to hold it? You know, it's a lot going on there.
Are you going to get to the fact that maybe they were pre-lit too by the time you get to the end of the story?
According to the
involved?
smoking gun, the boyfriend sustained minor scratches on his upper body and arms. There is no evidence suggesting that drugs or alcohol played a role in the holiday dispute.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, I would have bet on drugs and alcohol, wouldn't you?
Me too.
And or one of the two.
Okay, I don't even know if I believe this next story, but if it's true, this guy needs to get a job.
We just had a woman with 2 uteruses having a baby.
Is a spy, Secret Service, whatever. But the world of Chinese chess is in uproar over rumors of cheating and a bad behavior scandal that saw the national champion stripped of his title on Monday after a celebration ended with him taking a shit in a hotel bathtub.
Well, I mean,
there's more to this story.
Okay.
Ji Qing, or Chinese chess, Lunsford, or Tyler. How do you pronounce Chinese chess? Do you know what it is?
You assume Tyler knows?
Oh,
Lunsford knows?
Yeah, one of these two probably.
What'd you say?
Chinese chess.
What about it?
Jai Q?
I think it's Zhang Qi.
Zhang Qi? Gotcha.
Hugely popular for hundreds of years across Asia, and 48-year-old actually beat dozens of contenders to win the national championship. But his joy was short-lived. On Monday, announcing that Yan would have to have his title revoked and prize money confiscated after he had been caught, quote, disrupting public order and displaying, quote, extremely bad behavior and character. Now, the association was also forced to address widespread online rumors that Yan had cheated during the competition by using anal beads equipped with wireless transmitters to send and receive signals.
Oh, wow.
So here's the way this worked.
Okay, I'll need to know more.
Yeah. Yan allegedly clenched and unclenched rhythmically to communicate information about the chessboard via code to computer, which then sent back instructions on what moves to make in form of vibrations, according to reports circulating on the Chinese social website Weibo.
Pawn 3 to 2 spots.
I would like to have heard the ideas that got rejected by this guy to land on this one. Like, I'm not going to do that. Okay, well, here's one for you.
Now, based on, quote, our understanding of the situation, it's currently impossible to prove that Yan engaged in cheating via the anal beads, speculated on social media, but he was still stripped of his title and banned from playing for a year after his celebrations went wayward. They said that he consumed alcohol with others in his room on the night of the 17th, and then he defecated in the bathtub of the room he was staying in on the 18th in an act that damaged hotel property, violated public order and good morals, and had a negative impact on the competition and the event.
He had to get the Connor Stallion's devices out, I guess.
I mean,
Output.
Boy, you talking about the commitment.
Yeah, that is really wanting to win this thing, isn't it?
AI. It's going to be the death of us. You ready?
Oh, another one?
Tesla engineer was attacked by a robot during a bloody and brutal malfunction at the company's Giga, Texas factory near Austin.
Did he deserve it? What did he do?
Bloody and brutal, by the way.
2 witnesses watched in horror as their fellow employee was attacked by the machine designed to grab and move freshly cast aluminum car parts. Now, the robot had pinned the man who was programming software from 2 disabled Tesla robots nearby before sinking its metal claws into the worker's back and arm, leaving a, quote, trail of blood along the factory surface.
You ate my lunch from the break room. I did not.
Go back to the picture of the dude that got sort of poor man's John Rich.
That's going to be Elon Musk. That's the guy that owns Tesla.
Oh, okay. I thought it was poor man's John Rich. We're coming to your city.
Can you imagine how terrifying it would be if one of these things grabbed you?
It feels like it's game over at that point. Right?
Just unplug it.
The engineer was able to break free from the assembly robot after a colleague pressed the emergency stop button.
Oh, there it is. Gotcha.
Now, these AIs are going to learn how to...
That is not my stop button.
Yeah, they'll learn how to sway away from the stop button. Upon being released, engineer reportedly tumbled a few feet down a chute intended for collecting scrap metal, leaving a trail of blood. According to reports, Tesla said the engineer injuries did not require him to take any time off of work.
So I thought it was going somewhere, but she pressed my stop button.
Now, Tesla has been criticized for the handling of workplace safety. Their ratio, 1 of every 26 workers at this plant is injured on the job compared to 1 in 38 workers at all major U.S. auto factories.
Man, 1 in 26 sounds a lot.
So we've got a Chilean car wash company has been sued by Star Wars production company Lucasfilm. You know why?
Why?
Because the name of their car wash, the Star Wash. Walt Disney production company.
It's the lettering too. I mean, come on, man, that's spot on.
Should be okay.
It gets even better. On a typical day, you will see Chewbacca or a stormtrooper wiping down hoods, Darth Vader appearing to use the Force to summon cleaning cloths.
This is actually really, really good.
Okay, Chewbacca. Okay,
that puts it over the top.
That is a real character.
Yeah,
but the other one, come on. That's you should be able to play off of
I think
Star
that's
Wars
Boba Fett,
with Star Wash.
Yeah,
The first one was Boba Fett. Yeah,
I think Dunaway, if they just did Star Wash and didn't have the characters, Star Wars probably leaves them alone.
I think with the characters out
the
there,
characters. I mean, come on, man.
But is the one on the right really a character?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So the one on the right it looks like it's trying to be Bo-Katan, which is a blue Mandalorian from The Mandalorian.
Okay, but looking like, and I mean, a lot of looking like is no problems here.
Well, what the hell? You think it's a regular car wash?
I'm just saying that obviously
Boba Fett
you'd be a
was
space
identical.
theme and be okay.
Chewbacca was identical. Having a Mandalorian helmet like that, looking just like a Mandalorian, is pretty much identical.
Hey, any chance Princess Leia can wash my windshield?
I mean, we live in the world now where the 1928 Steamboat Mickey Mouse is. We can start making next round
starting Monday.
Yeah, Steamboat Mickey Mouse T-shirts, and they can't do anything about it because it's now public domain.
Well, I mean, that's the way the law works, though.
Winnie the Pooh, too.
So so we're 100 years. How much longer until we can do this for Star Wars? 40 more years?
That was
50 more
77.
years?
I don't know if there's a little bit before that, but yeah, we're a little ways away.
It's about 90.
Yeah, so
90
they
years.
need to hold on this car wash for a little bit.
So at that point, we can just start ripping that stuff off.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wait, so Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse go at the same time?
Winnie the Pooh's been free for a couple of years, I think. But then the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse on the very first
Steamboat Willie from the
and
first
I think
one.
Mickey is what about 10 years?
Mickey, right?
Yeah, 10 years behind, right? On the regular Mickey.
Mickey's a little bit behind, but honestly, you can't tell the difference. Like the average person can't tell the difference. So pretty much Mickey Mouse is available.
So this is why they got away with the Winnie the Pooh horror film, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason they did it, because we can.
You can't put a red shirt on Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Because that's the modern one, right?
The red shirt makes it the Disney
That's the
Winnie
Disney
the
version.
Pooh.
Oh, okay. So that clock's still ticking.
Mm-hmm.
But he had like a red plaid shirt or something like that, but it wasn't like just a red solid shirt.
Now, would Alabama shut us down if we put the scripted A shirt on Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, when's that become available? We might want to know.
I said our championship, when Alabama wins the national championship, we can make Steamboat Willie shirts, use Mickey Mouse in there.
We really can, right?
I mean, yeah, technically.
They went to Disneyland.
I mean, if you put a scripted A on him, it's going to sell.
Well, we got to deal with the university at that point, but yeah.
Too bad Joe Namath's not the quarterback. It could be Steamboat Willie.
So
More
this
power,
story,
Alabama or Disney, huh?
story here is perfect timing because I legitimately got a text from a buddy today that said he is going to elope to Vegas this week and get married.
That's weird. My sister-in-law was telling me a story about a friend of hers that got married in Vegas. Or a friend of her sister got married in Vegas. And I said, half joking, was it an Elvis impersonator? She goes, no, he had COVID. It was some Chinese guy.
Yeah. The newsletters I get, one of the biggest years ever for chapel weddings.
Yeah, I'm about to give you those numbers, but if my buddy does get married, a little content will be on site, possibly.
So it's going to be while we're there?
It could be.
Well, you do the show from there if you want to.
From the wedding chapel?
Why not? They got a good connection?
For better or worse, a wave of couples are saying I do in Las Vegas on New Year's Eve. It could be a record for the city's busiest wedding day ever. That's because 12/31/23 is known in the massive Las Vegas wedding industry as a specialty date, thanks to the repeating of 1-2-3-1-2-3 pattern.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Now, the icing on the cake, this specialty date falls on a holiday famous for blowout celebrations. Now, according to Melody Willis Williams, she's got a hyphen in her name, quotes, a double whammy. Anytime you get these specialty dates, they're always hugely popular, but tie that in with New Year's Eve, and it's a showstopper. Now, the number to beat on New Year's Eve is 4,492. That is the single-day record for marriages in Las Vegas set on July 7th of 2007.
So we're going for the record, basically, is what you're telling me.
So they were married 07-07.
Yeah, so you're going to be backed up.
Yeah. Yeah, be patient. They're probably not going to want us doing a show from there. That's a direct hit.
Yep.
Probably not going to want us to do a show from there. Wouldn't you think?
I don't know.
That is our trash segment today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Hey, buying a home, major milestone in life, getting it right comes down to the right advice at the right time. That's why we're proud to partner with our friends at Mortgage Right who do mortgages the right way. Call 205-815-9200. Apply online, mortgageright.com/TNR.
Hey, Tyler, can you give me cut number 7, if you can? Hugh Freeze yesterday on the importance of this bowl game for Auburn coming up this weekend. Auburn goes 1 o'clock, 6-6 against 7-5 Maryland. Taylor is up there giving you coverage from the Music City Bowl. Make sure you're watching everything on the Next Round platforms, including Disrupt the Media for all of Taylor's coverage, including a conversation she had yesterday with Hugh. Here's Hugh talking about this game for Auburn.
It's important to me, and I think they sense that. Now, I do think there's a balance, and we've been pretty successful in the bowl games that I've coached in, and that balance has worked. I hope that continues. This is a little new experience, truthfully, for me. I've never had, the opt-outs, and I've never dealt with that before, so that was kind of new. So you're not quite the same team that finished the year, personnel-wise, but in some ways that's kind of exciting for kicking off the next year. We're not in the playoffs this year, so you really can look at it like, an extra game for these young kids that we're going to depend upon. But I think anytime we put Auburn on our jersey, it's important.
That's Hugh Freeze at practice yesterday as they continue to get ready for Saturday's game up in Nashville. When we come back, some final thoughts on Alabama and Michigan today. You'll hear from Jalen Milroe. The show being brought to you this hour by our great friends at Champy's on Highway 119 in Alabaster. It's champyschicken.com. We're back in a moment right here on TNR.
Follow John Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
Southern Rubber Tire, your choice for tires and service in downtown Birmingham. Bryant and the guys can handle any of your automotive needs. They carry all major tire brands. Southern Rubber, conveniently located 6th Avenue North near I-65. Check them out online, southernrubbertire.com, and let them know you heard it on the Next Round. Harbin's Outdoors is an award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping, and hardscaping. Jeremy and his team are a one-stop shop for your pool construction needs. Harbin's does it all, from the install to the final hardscapes around the pool and everything in between. It's beautiful work. You can find them on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors to see it for yourself, or call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. That's 205-300-0718. At Harbins, you and your home are the center of all that they do. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations, but we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 in Hoover with Walk-Ons. The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever?
All right, getaway day for us, and we'll be live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Live on January 1st as well. That is new. We've never done that in our 14 years before, but we're doing it this year. So if you're waking up on January 1st and you want something to do before the games kick off, and then as the games kick off, join us for a normal show. We'll be on 9 to 12 Central Time, January 1st, coming up on Monday. Game day for Alabama out in Pasadena. So it'll be a good chance to set the table and get ready to make our way over to the stadium 9 to 12 on Monday. So as you're planning out next week, not a holiday Monday for us. It is January 1st. It is a show live, brand new for you, and you'll be able to interact and talk Tide football all day long on January 1st with us, just like you do today, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. All the great Godfather quotes there. Final segment brought to you by our friends at Coca-Cola, reminding you Coke Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever. Find out for yourself this year. Our friends at Coke Zero Sugar. Taste it for yourself. Is it the best Coke ever? You let us know. Coke Zero Sugar. Jalen Milroe yesterday at Disneyland talking about the person that has inspired him during this season.
Who is your inspiration as a person?
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is my true inspiration because through anything, he always kept a smile on his face and a chip on his shoulder. Through how everybody turned his back on him, he saw the bigger purpose in his future, and he's a man of faith. You can't beat a man that's a man of faith. It's hard to bring him down. And so that is someone that I love a lot, and I have a connection with him. I consider him my brother, and Jay Hurts. Man, I applaud him because who he is as a person, not too many people can be like.
He talked about that with us in one of his visits on the show because Jalen Hurts gave him a shout out from the podium when I think it was prior to the Alabama-Georgia game when they asked Hurts, does he have any bets with the numerous Georgia players that are on the Eagles roster? Will he watch the game? And he said, yeah, I've watched Alabama a good bit. And he specifically called out Jalen Milroe and the development he has had. And we asked Milroe about that. And he's like, yeah, we text a lot. We've got a relationship. That's really pretty cool because Jalen Hurts' career a little bit is a microcosm of what Jalen Milroe has done just this year. And I will openly admit this. I'll never forget the first time we were on Jocks when this happened. Somebody called up and talked about Jalen Hurts being an NFL quarterback one day, and I audibly laughed. I was like, he is not going to be an NFL quarterback.
Well, I think everybody would have agreed with that. And I do think for Jalen Milroe, I think watching himself and what he's been able to you're right. It is kind of sort of this 1 year has been the career of Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
So he probably looks at that and he's like, this guy almost won the MVP last year. He was in a Super Bowl last year. If he could do it, I can do it.
That's right.
We've got a ton of videos out on our video platforms, right there on YouTube, leading into the game. 5 of them, I think. 5 sort of 10-minute breakdowns, 5 to 10-minute breakdowns of Alabama and Michigan in a variety of different ways. We encourage you, when you're not watching the show or any of our other shows up here at Disrupt the Media, to go click on those. Many of you have already, but that is there for you leading up to the game on January 1st. Not dated there, good information that'll make you understand what's going to happen between Michigan and Alabama, maybe a little up close and personal there. Update on the scores now. SMU leading Boston College 14-10 as they play now in the second half. This has been a typical Boston College-like game when I watched this. I mean, SMU is a high-flying scoring offense. This has been a very grinded-out, controlled football game so far. SMU's got an upper hand right now, but for a while, this was playing exactly the way BC wanted.
Well, you know, SMU took the opening drive. They went down and they ended up getting they got stripped inside of the 35. BC goes down, kicks field goal. The conditions, I mean, it was raining sideways for a second. But Thomas Castellanos, this quarterback, is so elusive for BC. And he's getting a lot of yards with his legs. On the other side, Kevin Jennings, backup quarterback who took over for that Tulane American Championship game, he is extending plays in the pocket with his legs and making critical throws on third and even fourth down. So both quarterbacks, that has been the difference in this game right now.
I remember Luganville. You know, he did the Florida State-Boston College game. Florida State almost lost. And I remember on ball, it was either on ball or Spent Lugs, or maybe Monday Morning Live. Luganville did so much. But I remember him saying, if we had an in-season transfer portal, Castellanos would be a valuable asset to a lot of teams.
Like Castellanos might be completely content there. And look, and I know Hugh Freeze and people are starting to get used to the idea that Peyton Thorne's going to be this guy this year. But a guy like Castellanos in Hugh's system would be so freaking good.
Yeah. And Luganville was like, he could upgrade a lot of football teams.
Daniel says he'll be watching from the hot spot in the Deer Blind on the show on January 1st. Thank you, Daniel, for that. We appreciate all of you jumping in with us Monday as we do the show on that day from out there in L.A. As we start to wind down this day, do you guys like the Fenway and Yankee Stadium Day? That's the two games we get daytime today.
Yeah. Is the San Diego Bowl tonight, the one that's played at Petco? Yeah, that's a Holiday Bowl. That's tonight.
The Holiday Bowl was last night. Yeah,
it was last night. Whatever.
Yeah.
So within 24 hours, I guess we get 3 games in a football stadium.
Yeah. Arizona, Oklahoma is the night game tonight. Really good.
I'll tell you this: I don't necessarily love it, but if I was a player, I'd like to play in it.
I hate games in baseball stadiums.
I think though to tell your kids, "Hey, I played a game in Fenway or Yankee Stadium," would be really cool.
Yeah.
Terrible sight lines. Fans aren't involved as much. You got to, I mean, those stupid games they play in Wrigley. Sometimes they can't even. Use one end zone.
But would you not want to play in one?
I'd rather play in a good football stadium. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, given the choice of
both teams on the same sidelines in this game.
Yeah. I mean, given the choice of playing a game in Fenway Park. We just talked about Castellanos, and he just threw one of the worst picks you'll ever see.
By the way, that's Hugh Freeze on line 1 for ULT saying there's a reason why Peyton Thorne's our quarterback next year, not Castellanos.
I mean, that's about as bad as you're going to see an interception, by the way. I mean, given the choice of that, or playing in and I don't like college games in professional football stadiums, but I'd rather tell my kids I played where the Patriots played than tell them I played in Fenway Park.
I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, the Patriots, but I'm saying if a typical bowl game is like, you want to play in the Birmingham Bowl or at Fenway?
I've been 6-6, and if I'm at the Birmingham Bowl, I'm in a coaching change. So I guess I'd rather play at Fenway. At least I got my coach back next year.
Avery Johnson, quarterbacks tonight, Kansas State. He's now the QB1 for that program. They played this afternoon against NC State, 4:45. And then you get, is it Jackson Arnold for Oklahoma?
Yeah.
The quarterback of the future there for Brent Venables. You get to see him. I like getting to see the future quarterbacks. We talked about Nico Imalieva yesterday for Tennessee. We're going to get to see what Josh Heupel has next year. You get to see, we've seen a little bit of Avery Johnson. He hasn't really started and played a 4-quarter game yet. We get that chance today for Kansas State, and I'm really pumped up to see the Arnold kid for Oklahoma.
Yeah, look, and that's one of the better bowl games, kind of the off-brand games. Arizona, the streak they're on right now. Oklahoma turning it around in year 2 under Venables. A lot of people think we'll see a lot of points tonight. So, I'm all in on that game.
And then we get tomorrow night, Missouri and Ohio State, where we get Devin Brown. I think a lot of people forget that Kyle McCord and Devin Brown battled for QB1 down to the final seconds, if you believe Ryan Day, on who this quarterback was going to be for Ohio State. But yet during the year, he was so loyal to Kyle McCord. I wonder how close that really was, because you never really had a hint that Devin Brown was going to take over that job.
Well, coming into the season, a lot of people believed it was so tight, whether it was going to be McCord or Brown. And, I guess Ryan Day didn't love how the season went with McCord. I thought McCord actually got better as the season went.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. He got a lot of love coming out of that Notre Dame game because he led the final drive. We pointed out on the show, he almost threw a pick on that final drive too. And if he throws that, he probably gets viewed a little bit differently. It's a weird move to go to Syracuse, but maybe that was a closer battle than we thought.
And our final thought today, presented by our friends at Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Mariah Carey, who cashes checks this time of year, right? This year set a streaming record on New Year's Eve. One day, 24 million streams. All I want for Christmas.
I wonder what she makes off that.
Oh, we had it in Trash on the Table. It's a lot of money.
But one day, 24 million streams.
I don't know how you feel about this, but like 10 or 15 years ago, it was like, okay, this is fun. But now when I hear it, I got to turn it.
Yeah, it's not my favorite version of it even. I like the Taylor Swift version.
Of course you do.
Yeah, but not surprised with that.
But she didn't write the song. She just has the most popular performance of it all, right?
I don't know
seriously
who wrote the song.
doubt she wrote the song.
Yeah.
But you gotta.
That person is cashing checks, unless she wrote it.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, but 24 million streams, a new Spotify record. That was just on Spotify, by the way, not Apple or any of the others. 24 million just on one day. People went and listened to that song, I guess, multiple times.
You know what I hate now? Sometimes when you just want your old school Wikipedia, this stupid AI jumps up there and starts typing stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I don't have that on my computer.
Yeah.
Lunsford, what is that? Tyler, what is that?
That's what I call a virus, my friend.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
No.
On Wikipedia?
On Wikipedia? So
No. So when I go to hit Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, it won't pop up the Wikipedia. It'll do something else.
Oh, I don't know.
That sounds like you have something on your computer.
Yeah. Lance is discounted. It's a virus. No virus.
No real great matches on who wrote that.
She wrote it, by the way.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why she's making so much money off of it.
Cash in.
No, it was another person, but she's listed as a writer, so I'm sure she gets.
So as of 2013, it was $50 million a year in royalties. So hell, it ain't no telling what
crap.
Yeah, the singer gets very little of the streams. I think the most of it goes to the writers. So good for her, co-writer of it all, cashing that check. We'll be live from Vegas tomorrow when we see you, 9 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. Vegas time. Should be a lot of fun. Join us to see how we look in just a few hours. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America. Remember, watch all the social media platforms. Taylor's coverage in Nashville and ours coming up from the West Coast right here on TNR.